We've saved the best for last as Canada takes on Czechia at 3M Mariucci Arena in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of the Minnesota Golden Gophers and the site of play in Group B in this World Junior Hockey Championship. Lead pass finds Peter Sikora, who was the player Baudouin hit last year. And Reshny flaws the puck at the side of the goal. George makes a point-blank save. Rebound put high by Sikora. Brunick back down to Martone. Nestrasil steps back on the ice. No shots on the power play. Now sent back out. Here's Nestrasil on the breakaway. Nestrasil just out of the box. Works right in. Stopped in tight by George. Now picked back up by Ethan McKenzie. And a long lead pass. The time is Canada's turn for a break. Samuel Wiley comes in. Put that wide.
Feels like everyone in Brantford this year is having a pretty good season.
Yeah. As a group.
Yes.
Here comes Hage, winding in, and Hage with a step throws it back in front to McKenna. McKenna wheels it back, score! Brady Martin fires it home, and Canada grabs the lead. Here's Politi in on Carls. He lost his stick, and now Curran centers it. That's swept away by Baudouin, but not out. Wasanichka drops it back for Benak. That long shot, tip score! Deflected in front by Thomas Politi. And the Czechs have tied it up inside 3 to go in the first period.
As Carls had dropped his stick, the group was a little bit tired. It's a man-on-man, and nobody's got the man in front. A little bit of confusion for Canada on the high roll up top. No chance for Carter George whatsoever. You got to talk it out and make sure if you're going to cover anybody, that's the guy you cover.
By Yuri Klima. Novotny a long shot that was blocked in front by Danford. McKenna. Up to Hage, who was tied for second in NCAA scoring when he left for the Canadian camp. Up to Danford, drops it off to Martin. Back to Hage with some room, shoots, scores! Michael Hage with a long-distance rocket, and Canada's back on top. And that shot taken by Mon goes high, a penalty coming to Canada. Back of the line is Galvez, the extra skater comes on. Mon with a shot, that was blocked. And here is Curran with it. Back across to Mon. Benak centered it, score! Wojciech Chihas on the tip, and the Czechs have tied it with a penalty coming to Canada. Another long time in the offensive zone for Canada, finally picked free by Nestrasil. Nestrasil was drafted by Chicago in the first round, a pick they got from Toronto in the Jake McCabe deal. Now Chihas sends it across, they score! And it's Sikora who strikes to give the Czechs their first lead of the game. Lead pass by Baudouin. Up for Reed to O'Reilly. Sam O'Reilly slides that down to Reed in deep, plays it back to Perek, walking in. Zane Perek with a shot that deflects wide. Baudouin back on it. Oh, Baudouin drops it back to Reed for Perek, moves it and shoots, scores! Zane Perek ties the game with 2:58 to go in the second. What a snipe! Reshny. Now Curran had lost his stick. McKenna plays it back across, knocked down by Perek. In comes Perek with a shot, scores! Zane Perek again, a power play goal, and Canada's got the lead. Slams it up to center ice. Sikora. Bumped there by Desnoyers. Galvez goes behind the back. Holds it. That was knocked away by Desnoyers. Galvez back with it. Feeds it back across. Sikora walks out and shoots, and George makes a great stop. Rebound, intercept, they score! Politi, the tying goal for the Czechs. His second of the game. And Benak flips it back down to the Canadian zone. A bouncing puck played by George. Up to McKenzie, and he finds Misa. Misa in with Martone, drops for Iginla. TJ Iginla shoots, scores! There he is, TJ Iginla. 5-4 Canada.
He was due, and what Michael Misa loves to do is get to the middle of the ice. He doesn't take a path down the boards. He takes it to the middle, draws attention, and then distributes wide. And just on side, I think Michael Misa-Aginla with the drag and pull. Finally get one around Jurček above the pad, below the glove. And Aginla regains the lead. 5-4. I'm sure it's not for the last time in this game.
Runick back forward. Across he goes to McKenzie. And the twice undrafted Ethan McKenzie plays it. In all these first-round picks, McKenzie's got unpicked through 2 NHL drafts. Here he is. McKenzie walks in and shoots, scores! Ethan McKenzie, and Canada's up by 2. Reed back across for Perek. Snaps that pass ahead to Misa. In comes Misa for Martone. That was ticked away by Nestershil at the last moment. Chihas. In across the line, took a whack at Aginla. Nestershil plays it back across. They score! It's Galvis. And the Czechs are back within 1 with 4.5 to go in the third period.
Cameron Reed gets caught here. He thinks he's going to get this puck. He doesn't get the puck. He doesn't get the body. And Galvis, who joins, ends up with a quick 2-on-1. Chihas is having a monster game. Helps to create that.
Alan Scott, the linesman from the U.S., drops it. O'Reilly wins it. Run around for Baudouin. Looks ahead. He's got Martone. Martone scores! The captain with the empty netter, and Canada's back up by 2. It's in recent years. And this one went back and forth. And Canada will skate away as Jurček shoots, and George kicks that up. With a 7-5 win. What a night to open this World Junior Hockey Championship. Zane Perek, a big part of the story, scores twice. Final shots 32-27 in favor of Czechia. Shoots, scores! There he is, TJ Aginla. 5-4 Canada. And a 7-5 win. What a night to open this World Junior Hockey Championship. Now the 2-day redemption tour continues.
Starting their turn off for the revenge tour from last year.
Right.
Canada last year scored how many goals? 13.
Yeah.
They're more than halfway to that total after the first game against a really good team in Czechia.
The Frederick R. Weissman Art Museum on the campus of the University of Minnesota, where we are 1 year to the day that Canada lost to Latvia in one of the greatest upsets in world junior history. On the anniversary, TJ Ginland Canada a chance to restore order as they take on the Latvians again. Ethan McKenzie passed over in 2 drafts, but making a huge statement in the third period last night for Canada as they beat the Czechs. And Keishon Aitchison and company hoping to be the dream killers in this tournament while keeping their own golden dream alive. Hello, Canada. We barely had time to miss you after the quick turnaround from last night. James Duffy alongside Cheryl Pounder, Frankie Corrado, and Jeff O'Neill. As Canada's little mini revenge tour, which is the start of this tournament, has been for them. Last night, of course, trying to avenge to a certain degree the 2 straight quarterfinal losses to Czechia. And today, try to avenge that shocking upset to Latvia last year, which completely derailed their tournament. To get you ready for it, the guys will call it for you. Gordon Miller and Mike Johnson.
Yeah, James, also a redemption tour for some players who weren't invited last year. Zane Parekh scored twice in the game, and Michael Hage, the Montreal first-round pick, who's number 2 in NCAA scoring in Michigan, wasn't invited to try out last year. Made up for lost time last night.
He might be number 2 in scoring in the college ranks, but he's the number 1 centerman right now for Team Canada. He's played his way into that role. He's got Gavin McKenna on the wing. He's got Brady Martin. They've been productive from the pre-competition game against Sweden to the tough game against Czechia. And what you love about Michael Hage, Frankie talked about his ability to support the puck all over the ice. But a guy who creates plays with pace, not with creativity, not with stick handling, with his legs. And the one thing that can be consistent is the way you skate. And the way that he moves opens up everything for him and his line mates. I think he's had an exceptional start to the tournament. The chemistry that he shares with his line mates has been evident from day one. They've been on the ice together. And he's a guy who sort of goes under the radar with all the other stars around him, but has played as well as anyone in Canada and really is the number 1 centerman right now.
Now, Latvia's win last year obviously was a major shock in the tournament, but Latvia has a history of giving Canada trouble internationally. In 2021, the Latvians beat Canada at the Men's World Championship in Riga, and in 2014, the last best-on-best Olympics, it took a Shea Weber third-period goal for Canada to beat Latvia 2-1 in the quarterfinals. James?
And the coaches on favored teams always hate these games because they're worried, especially teenagers will look past it. Maybe the best thing Dale Hunter has going for him is what happened last year and the fact that none of these players will look past it. What do you want to see from Team Canada today?
Well, you mentioned Dale Hunter, James. You better beware of him today. If you think this is going to be a blowout and you approach it like that and you want to be an individual out there, you're probably not going to be on the ice that much. There's a way about going about this game. It's systematic. They're going to fall back. You've got to really work on the cycle game, keep your shifts short, and get everything at the net. One guy I want to focus on is Michael Misa. I want to see a Michael Misa heater game. I didn't see it yesterday. He's a guy that's going to be so important in critical games coming down the stretch here.
If Latvia can hang around with Canada, it's not going to be the same as the way the Czechs did at 7-5, right, Frankie?
No, this will be a different type of game. The Latvians traditionally have been a team that sits back. They play a conservative brand of hockey. They want to hang around in games and capitalize on your mistakes. So that makes it all about Canada, and Mike Johnson talked about that in the pregame show. This game is about the details and the habits for Canada. Sometimes in these games against lesser opponents, you don't want the bad habits creeping in because they creep in against other teams and it can cost you. Well, it can cost you against Latvia because we saw it last year. So 2 pre-tournament games, now a game against Czechia. Get your details down.
If you missed the pregame show, numerous changes to the lineup as far as changes in the 3rd and 4th line. And Ethan McKenzie, who we saw off the top, the twice undrafted player, gets promoted to the 2nd pairing. What's made him so essential so far?
Well, first of all, you watch those minutes elevate, in particular in the 3rd period, over 5.5 of his 11 played there, and that's because Dale Hunter said, listen, this is a skater. He's got the puck movement aligned with himself, and he can find ways with good spacing to not only take it away, but be excellent, in particular when he's jumping into the rush.
Jack Ivankovic starts for Canada today. Carter George is getting the rest. Ivancovic's been brilliant in his first year in Michigan. Your expectations today?
To just play the same kind of game that he plays at the University of Michigan. He's won a ton of games there this year. His numbers are awesome. And it's not like he's going from a team in Michigan that isn't very good to a team that's great in Team Canada. There's a lot of insulation in his club team. Jack Ivankovic is a very talented goaltender.
As they make a long walk towards the ice, let's quickly look at Canada's checklist again for this tournament. The first first was to avenge the loss to Czechia. They did that today, try to avenge the loss to Latvia, and then beat Finland New Year's Eve. Also have to beat Denmark, but they do all these things. They will take care of the group and have the top seed going into the quarterfinals. Just a couple of minutes away from Canada versus Latvia. Back with it right after this.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by TELUS. Now offering 5-year plan price lock on select mobility and internet plans. By Esso, from the Esso Medals program to representing Team Canada. Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons. Try the Tim's Holiday Meal today.
From a first game to their biggest game. From Esso medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
Paramount Plus is giving you the greatest gift of all. Big stars in big blockbusters. Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Roofman, and Materialists. Stream Paramount Plus for $7.99 a month.
Back in Minnesota for day 2 of the 50th World Junior Championship. It is Canada taking on Latvia in the first of 2 games here today at 3M Mariucci Arena. Latvians, of course, beat Canada in a shootout last year. Their first ever win against the Canadians. Canada had outscored them 41-4 in 4 previous meetings. And the officials for this game this afternoon are Martin Jobage of Slovakia, Richard Magnusson of Sweden, the linesman, Albert Ankertjerny from Denmark, and Rasmus Stromberg from Sweden. And starting a goal for Canada, Jack Ivankovic. A year to the day after he took the loss against the Latvians in the shootout, he stopped 7 of the 8 shots he faced in that shootout. But Canada did not score in that competition. And Nils Moric is the goaltender for Latvia, plays in Omaha of the United States Hockey League. Dale Hunter, the head coach of Team Canada, for the second time at the World Junior, won gold in 2020 in Czechia. Artis Abols, 5th year coaching the Latvian World Junior team, also an assistant coach with their men's national team and their Olympic program. His son Rodrigo plays for the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL.
We are waiting. Okay, behind the line. Guys, enjoy the moment.
And away we go. Canada is the road team for the second straight game as Ethan McKenzie fires that down, and the play is called icing against the Canadians, who had a wild ride against the Czechs last night. They led the game 3 times, gave up a go-ahead goal to the Czechs in the second period, rallied back with 4 in the third to win it by a score of 7-5.
Plus, with whatever noise drifted into their dressing room today about Porter Martone and whether he might be suspended for his warm-up stuff from yesterday, whatever, the no handshake, all that stuff, they're probably happy just to get the puck dropped and get back to playing.
Sam O'Reilly wins that face-off in the defensive zone. Here's McKenzie with it. A 3-point third period plus 3. Played a ton and was on the ice late with Canada protecting a 1-goal lead. The only player on the Canadian roster who's been eligible to pick in the draft and hasn't been twice. Baudouin tries to work that trade for O'Reilly. Here's Baudouin. Centers it and held at the line by McKenzie. Centering pass for Desnoyers. He's tied up. And Desnoyers works that free. Moves that back in the corner. Brunik tied up in the corner for Mordieks. Lifted back to center. Baudouin collided there with Harris Tsionskas. These Latvian players play all over the place. 14 leagues in 7 countries. Now loose puck to the side of the goal, brought back out, walking right on the quick chance there. For the left, got turned away point blank by Ivan Kovic. They got a broken stick for Brunek. And the Canadians able to clear the puck out as Gimla works it free. TJ Gimla. And that's stolen away by Bearskow. Latvians also have 14 players back from last year's team. A very small player pool from which to choose. They've got 10 who can return next year in Edmonton and Red Deer. The Latvians punch above their weight. A couple of years ago, they were bronze medalists of the World Championship. We were there for that in Finland. A remarkable moment for them. That long shot high in the air, knocked up by Perek. And now that shot taken by Vitols is blocked. What a chance there for the Latvians on the shot by Saratskas.
That might have been trouble if Perek didn't get a piece of it. It might have landed right in the back of Ivan Kovic's jersey and dipped into the net.
There's Utnans, who plays in the North American Hockey League in Kenai River. Back for that. Leaves it there for Albert Smits. Keep an eye on him, number 23 for Latvia. 18-year-old defenseman, just turned 18 in December, rated by many as a top 10 pick for the upcoming NHL draft. And a big hit there by Kayshawn Aitchison as he leveled Vasilevskis. Lead pass for McKenna, gloved down at the line by Brady Martin, but the play is called offside.
Hasn't been the cleanest start for Canada. A couple good chances. Brunek, who's so dependable, turns it over to Delevka. Has a stick broken, and a really good save by Ivan Kovic to keep that out of the net. You have to believe that the forechecker is going to be able to take the puck off you. A little casual by Brunek and bailed out by his goaltender early. And then another turnover. Shot goes up in the air. It's going to hit Ivan Kovic, and he's not on the bar, but thank goodness for the hands of Perek to come and butt that one out of harm's way.
Lead pass for Horniaks. Flips that back down to the Canadian zone. Reach behind the goal. Ben Danford works that free. Pick back out. The rink wide pass goes to McKenna. Front Haynes. Horniaks fires that wide with the Canadian goal, and back to pick it up is Danford. Latvia tied the game last year with 2.5 to go in the third period. A shocking result in Ottawa. Here is McKenna. Takes the puck from Danford and winds his way through center ice. McKenna with a head of steam. Drops for the trailer. Perek winding in. Zane Perek has a look. Sends it back in front. That pass just missed Martin. Big hit by Brady Martin as he spilled Delevka. And then another one behind the net as he took down Vitols. Now Delevka taken down. A penalty coming to Canada. That's going to be Jet Luchenko who will go off for a hole. Latvia's going to get an early power play here as the captain, Realists, brings it back out. Drops that back for Poutsans. Latvians have the extra skater out. Discipline was a problem for Canada last year in the tournament. Shorthanded 27 times in 5 games. Well, poked back in front and finally touched up in the corner. And with 4:10 gone here in the opening period, Latvia gets the game's first power play.
He nailed it. Jet Luchenko is going to go for the hold in the neutral zone. Canada trying to get physical, trying to finish some checks, and Lefka slides out. That's a tackle, not a hit. Another one you don't want to make it. Gavin McKenna wound it up, setting up Perek, who tries to find Martin in the back door. That's good motion, almost connecting. And that had Gavin McKenna's parents, Crystal and Willie, on the edge of their seat, almost to open the scoring. Canada was pretty good for most of last night's game, not taking penalties. And you won't love the neutral zone hold on Luchenko. Block. Ouch. Sam O'Reilly.
Brought in by Osmanis. One of those returnees from last year, plays in Sweden in the Allsvenskan, the second league there. Back across, that shot pounded wide by Krister Zansson. Brought back by Osmanis. Takes the return pass. Feeds that back across, and the sharp angle shot taken there by Saratskas. And line. Ivan Kovic makes the stop and hangs on. Jack Ivan Kovic in his first year with the Michigan Wolverines in the NCAA, left the Ontario League in the offseason. Having a good year. Michigan 16-4 record for the top-ranked Wolverines. 927 save percentage. Parents Jack and Kelly are here. Sister Morgan looking on. Friends don't let friends be goalie parents.
I'm stressed for them. They look calm. They've seen this before. Jack has played huge games prior to this one, but man, it can't be easy.
Second round pick of Nashville. Now Cole Reshney works in shorthanded. In comes Reshney. He falls in the corner. And is careful not to get a hand on Albert Spitz. Spitz is playing this year for Jukurit in Finland's top league, the SM Liga. In a big offensive year there. Osmanis works it and shoots, and the glove save made by Ivan Kovic.
See pretty clearly what Latvia's strategy is once they get the offensive zone. They shoot. They're not looking for seams. They're not looking for extra passes. And when they have an opportunity to put it to the net, even on the power play, they do not look for the extra pass. So if you're Canada, you got to box out early. Ivan Kovic, be ready for shots from all over the offensive zone.
Canada only shorthanded twice in the game against Czechia last night.
Over both Porter Martone in the third.
Right. Baudouin snaps that pass right wide. In comes O'Reilly with a steer. Go backhand shot. And he rolls the rebound wide as Nils Maurich poked that away. 40 seconds to go on the Latvian power play. Dimitri Kolevko plays for Brooks in the BC Hockey League. Plays that in. And picked up by Klausen. Well, yes, this long shot. Ivan Kovic kicks that free. Another chance short-handed. Baudouin working out with O'Reilly. And Baudouin lays that back down to the Latvian zone and will head off on a change. 20 seconds to go on the Latvian power play. No score here in the first period. Roberts Nudich works back in, stripping the puck, but the carrying attempt is knocked down. And that hard shot was blocked by Braden Coots as Marcus Saratskas wound up and pounded that.
Saw Sam O'Reilly earlier, the nice block short-handed. Little 10-2, gets the angle, and he almost caroms into the goaltender enough to force the puck across. The left guy can't handle him. Puck out the back door. Almost unfortunate for Sam O'Reilly. Not sure if it would have counted with the collision, but good net drive for the captain of the London Knights. Dale Hunter comfortable using him.
Yeah, Toronto native. First round pick of the Edmonton Oilers was traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning for Isaac Howard.
Be awkward to get traded before you even get out of your junior career. I guess the new team, you're like, okay, they want me, but I think your first rounder, I'm pretty important to the team that picked me.
Right. Howard's having a big year in the American League for Edmonton.
They trade for him to play in the American League, though.
3 shots, the Latvians on that power play. Still no score here in the first period. Murnieks winds in, he watched there by Aitchison. Aitchison shoves him down. Poke free, and Misa tried to center that. Now Luchenko works it free. Brought back up by Iginla with Misa. Bouncing puck got away from Iginla. Misa stays on it. Works it free from Martone. Straight pass missed Iginla.
He's got to shoot that puck.
Sionskis almost turned that over. Now Misa does work it free. The shot by Aitchison was blocked in front. Aitchison back with it. Cross he goes to McKenzie. Works it and shoots. That was blocked. This time by Murnieks. Picked up by Aitchison. Sharp angle shot turned away by Morich. Walking right is Martone with a chance. Morich makes the stop on that. And at the line, that's squeezed by Aitchison back to center. In comes McKenzie the other way as Canada's changing. McKenzie. Martone tapped that pass wide. Now Martone back with it. Porter Martone puts it back across to Aitchison. Sweeps it back in deep as Hage is looking for it. Martone. That pass is picked off and chopped up by Utnans. Hage. Winds back in. That pass is picked off and brought back the other way by Utnans. Line Parak and back down to the Canadian zone as the Latvians begin a change.
Best secrets for Canada in the offensive zone, though. Turning pucks over, maintaining possession.
Hage. Slides that back across. Moved in by Martin. Laid away by Vitols, who plays in the Latvian league. There are 9 teams in that league now, including the Kiev Capitals of Ukraine, who joined that league. Latvians have had to rebuild their program after Dinamo Riga left the KHL. The domestic league is returning to form. They have a junior league as well. Brought back out by Saratskas. Moves in and shoots. It was off the foot of Carl. Loose in the corner is Serkins. It's taken away by Carls and ahead to McKenna. Up for Martin. In comes Baudouin off the bench. And Martin crisscrossing there with McKenna. Martin pivots back in the corner. Feeds that back to McKenna with a long shot that drifts wide. And out of the reach of Baudouin. Here's Serkins back with it. Turns it over and a chance for Martin with a shot that was blocked in tight by Christian Sarts. Saratskas drops that back as both teams change. 9 gone here in the opening period. Butzad. Long shoot in, get it back up by Brunik. He was the rock of the Canadian defense against the Czechs last night. Long lead pass by Reed, knocked down by Baudouin. He gains possession. Looks down to O'Reilly. Back at the point is Carson Carl. Feeds it back across. Danford a long shot. That's gloved down. And quickly, Morridge pounces on the rebound. 10:34 to go in a scoreless first period at the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship.
It takes ages to build character. From the age of enlightenment to the age of rekindled passion. That's why Gibson's Finest Rare is aged for 12 years. Gibson's Finest, one for the ages.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up. Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Well, the numbers go. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock only from TELUS.
It was a year ago today that the Latvians stunned Canada in the shootout in Ottawa. Winning the game 3-2. Leonard Feldbergs, the goaltender, was the star, stopping all 8 Canadian attempts in the shootout. It ranks as one of the greatest moments in Latvian hockey history. Artis Abols, who was also an assistant coach of the national team, was part of their group that won a bronze medal at the World Championship a couple of years ago in Finland, and said right behind that was that win by the Latvians, which resonated throughout their country.
Well, you don't have a chance against Canada if you're Latvia. Your goaltender is going to have to be special. And
right.
That's really Feldbergs was, and Morridge has that in him today. It hasn't had to be 2 shots through the first 10 minutes for Canada. Not the push that Canada was hoping for to start the game.
Brought around by Albert Schmitz, who played a ton. Icing called against Latvia.
And here is a look of the game-winning shootout shot.
Eric Spateko,
who was good in that game. Finally, somebody scored a goal. Canada couldn't get any. Ivan Kovac had stopped the first 7, finally was beaten. And Latvia was able to celebrate a unlikely win. Tough loss for Ivan Kovac to take on his track record.
Right.
It wasn't his fault.
Shot off the faceoff, rolled wide by Iginla, and TJ Iginla back on it. Strong World Junior debut last night. Zane Perek slides it ahead. Misa walks it and shoots. I've been trying to find the stick of Iginla there, and that just missed. Martone plays it back in deep. And Iginla trying to kick that free and does. Misa in there as well. And Schmitz along the boards. That was knocked down. Then kept alive by Reed. That long shot by Martone. Kicked out by Morridge. Dropped by Misa. In comes Perek. 50-move Perek. Poke check there by Schmitz. Here comes Perek again. Slides across the top. Long wrist shot. Morridge to save on that. The rebound just skipped away from Iginla. Now Perek comes in again. That pass just missed Iginla. That's tapped back out by Bruno Osmatis. Reed looks ahead for Martone as Canada returns to the attack. The shots are 5 through Latvia here in the first period. The puck loose at center ice. Now it's picked off and brought back in by Vasilevsky. Shoots! And Ivan Kovic makes the save on Antons Vasilevskis. No score here in the first. It's day 2 of the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship.
Exceptional. That's not a word Canadians throw around lightly. It's a distinction that's earned, designed to the highest standards. It's closer than you think, and you'll know it when you feel it. North Star Bets. Exceptionally Canadian.
The PWHL is more than a league. It's a family.
Dedication, unity, anything it takes.
Shared moments.
Shoots and scores!
Shared passion.
The real deal.
This holiday season, give the gift of endless entertainment and stream hit series. Plus, Canadian Crave Originals. Get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months. Ends January 12th. Terms apply. Only available at crave.ca/subscribe.
Zane Parekh talked pretty openly how last night's game was a tough one for him. He's feeling under the weather. He hasn't scored a goal in a while. He wanted to make a real positive impression, and he did with 2 goals. And now you see the confidence. Look at this pass. Just right on the money. He's a lot like McKenna. Once he gets a little space in the offensive zone, you can just sense something positive is going to happen offensively for Canada. He's got that kind of vision and the hands to go along with it.
9th overall pick to Calgary in 2024. Scored his NHL debut against the Los Angeles Kings. 11 games played this year for Calgary.
Maybe you have to teach a little bit of the defensive side of the game, but you can't teach what he's got on the offensive side. Need to get another second on the clock. It ran 1 down after the quick drop.
Age for the face-off was not his strength yesterday. Lost 10 of his 12 draws and lost that one. Long shot got through, and Ivan Kovic knocks that down to the point shot from the captain, Oskars Brietas. McKenna. In across the line for Hayes. Back to McKenna. He's poke checked there by Rittenais. And at center ice, Brunick back to pick it up. Harrison Brunick, the Calgary native. Spent 3 years with Kamloops in the Western League, now playing for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL. And that shooting was off a stick, up and out of play.
So Zane Parekh, we saw 2 goals in last night's game. Well, he's had back-to-back 30-plus goal seasons. And as you mentioned, 2 people in the history of the OHL have done that. Just 2.
2 defensemen.
2 defensemen. Zane Parekh and, of course, Bobby Orr.
We're not comparing Zane Parekh to Bobby Orr.
We are just comparing the numbers.
Just saying that only 2 guys have had back-to-back 30-goal years as defensemen.
That's a category that has 2 people in it.
Right.
He's one of the 2. That's impressive.
And for whatever reason, and sometimes it's justified, but offensive defensemen always have to deal with a yeah, but. Can he defend?
Right.
Paul Coffey, Larry Murphy, you name it. Go through the list over the years. Erik Karlsson. Dropped in the highest slot. Denoye moves in. That shot was blocked. Bounces back. Danford's shot was blocked as well. Swept ahead by Klautzad. Danford swings back. News after O'Reilly. Canada day off tomorrow. Will play Denmark in a couple of days' time. This is the last of the back-to-backs for Canada in the preliminary round. Aitchison. Big hit there on Schmitz, who jumped up. Now picked free by Cameron Reed. Drops it back to Aitchison. Back to Reed, the Elmer, Ontario native. Looks ahead for Baudouin, chips that down and goes off on a change.
Latvia's got 4, sometimes 5 defenders stacking around their blue line. And and is going to have to find a way to dump it in with speed to get it back.
Sionskis moves that back down. The Canadians on a funny bounce off the end boards. That was more of a dead bounce in the corner. Normally more lively boards here. At the home rink of the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now fired down. There's a lively bounce off the end. Luchenko gets there. On the forecheck, that was knocked free by Braden Coots for a moment as Luchenko has it back. Luchenko scored a shorthanded goal in the game against Latvia last year. Has the puck at center ice. Flips that across. It's picked off by Mornieks. Here's Reed. Up ahead to Coots. And Braden Coots, Vancouver first rounder, fires that in. 13 of the Canadian 14 forwards are first-round picks. The one who isn't, Kevin McKenna, will be in about 7 months.
He might be first overall pick.
Right. Martone, rink wide, finds Iginla. In comes TJ Iginla with a shot that bounces wide, loose at the side of the goal. And Sartz dug that free. Carson Karls back on it, poke free by Delevka. And Delevka taken down by Karls. The puck is under him. And worked free by Karls. Back around to Brunik. Loose in the corner, Brunik. Lifts that high in the air, was batted down by Saratskas. Not shot floated high by Flugis. Now loose at the side of the goal. What a chance they score!
Did he get a stick on it? Because he got a skate on it. I know that much for sure. Saratskas.
Last touch for Saratskas. Ivan Kovic was waving his arms right away. And the officials are going to take a look here.
Brunik doesn't get it out. It's a shot. Banks off the boards wildly. What a tremendous save. That's not going to count.
That's a kick.
What a save by Ivan Kovic on the first shot, though. This is world-class blocker save. Saratskas intentionally kicks it towards the net and was not able to get the next touch.
And again, the standard is you can direct the puck with your skate. You cannot propel the puck.
Video under review. Decision from the ice is no goal.
Okay. And worth noting, decision on the ice, no goal.
Right.
So they would have to basically see him touch the puck with a skate, with his stick at some point, and he just can't quite get it.
So the referees, Martin Jobagi of Slovakia, Richard Magnuson of Sweden, will take a look in conjunction with the IHF video supervisor.
Yeah. And there's not much you can do as the offensive player there. It is your instinct to put your skate on it. You're trying to direct it towards where you want it to go, is in the net. He takes a swing, misses it, gives it a kick, and ideally you get the stick out there just for a glancing blow, but Ivan Kovic right on top of it.
He wasn't even up to his feet
Puck
yet.
had it hit the back of the net, and he was already waving. No, that one's not going to count. He'll be right as they make their ruling right now.
After you do your review, the decision is stand, so we have no goal.
Five and a half to go in the opening period. Jack Kovic was right. Not everyone's happy, but there's no score.
We present to you some of the biggest stars and biggest dramas on Paramount Plus, like Tom Hardy in Mobland, Michael C. Hall in Dexter Resurrection, and Billy Bob in Landman.
Stream Paramount Plus. By joining the skilled trades, you'll make a living while making places to live. You'll build a strong, stable career for today and for tomorrow. Plus, with over 140 skilled trades to choose from, there's more opportunity than ever to build a bright future for all of us. Building stronger communities right here at home. That's how we protect Ontario.
Inspired by the strength of a diamond, every stitch reflects our resilience, pride, and belonging, forged through time and pressure. Canada's 2026 Olympic jersey, a symbol forged in ice.
Scan the promo code on screen to get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months and stream the latest blockbusters, Canadian Crave originals, and hit series all in one place on Crave.
Over 10,000 hours of original content.
There you go.
That we are chipping away at here in Minnesota.
I think I might be finished Crave by the end of the month.
That's too bad. I got you a 3-month subscription for Christmas. So what this should be for Canada is a wake-up call. First period hasn't been great. They're being outshot. The better chances has almost come to Latvia in the game.
Remember, Perek knocked that puck out of midair?
Yeah, and the turnover by Brunik right to start the game. You know, this is how Latvia gets you. They pounce on your mistakes.
Now a steal by Martin. In with McKenna. Brady Martin shoots. That goes off the stick of Daryl Zelenskis, up and out of play.
It's the right decision, though, because McKenna's on his far side. You want to pass the puck, but you have to make a calculation in your head. Am I going to get the puck to McKenna before McKenna gets caught by the back checker, or do I need to put it to the net to either try to score or create a scramble? The right decision was to shoot it. McKenna was going to be covered by the time the puck got there.
AJ McKenna talking things over. A Michigan centerman to a Penn State winger.
Hayes struggling in the dot. You almost wonder, could they not slide just Martin for his strength in there and just tell him to be a bull rush?
Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
Cage lost 10 of his 12 draws last night. Has struggled here early today.
And when you're struggling, maybe you want to go tie, but part of being when you tie it up, you need your wingers to help. And McKenna's not a real dive in and dig winger on the faceoff. He's a slide to the high side to space.
Wins that one. Here's McKenna. Lays that back to Perek. And Perek drops it off to McKenna. Wide through and shoots. That went just wide. The goaltender Morris didn't see it. Gathered back up by Murnieks. Up to center ice. In comes Osmanis. Puts that down in the Canadian zone as the Latvians got to change it inside 5 to go in a scoreless opening period. Green banks it back down to the Latvian zone. Big hit there by Martin on Sarts. At the line, it's held and kept alive by Perek. Down to Martin. And Martin works that free. Martin. Right across the top, has a look and shoots. That's wide. Banks back to Perek. And Perek dancing across the top. And again. Flips it back across. Pounded that shot wide. Page gathers up the loose puck. And he comes. Hayes with a look. Centers it. And missed McKenna with that pass. Serkin's back with it. Up the center ice. Perek knocks it down and feeds out ahead to Hayes. O'Reilly jumps in. He bobbled the puck for a moment. Now stolen by McKenna. He was knocked down and a penalty coming to Latvia. As Serkin's reached in with a stick, and Canada gets a power play with 3:54 to go in the opening period.
First line got out there for some possession in the offensive zone.
Team Latvia 24, minor penalty, holding.
And eventually, Serkin gets his stick tied up onto McKenna's skates or stick, and McKenna goes down, and Canada goes to the power play. And Crystal is going to be tired after this game. She is on the edge of her seat watching her son.
It's a long tournament. This is day 2.
Which I would be too. I have nothing but understanding for parents watching their kids play sports. Power play was 1 for 3 last night against Czechia for Canada.
Perek scored the power play goal. He's got it now across to Martone. Now got a Latvia with no stick. It's a defenseman. Siuskis. Now back in. Misa with a shot that goes off the mask with Lawrence.
Oh, and they're going to get a whistle. That is very convenient. Did the mask pop?
It popped the strap off the mask.
Did it? Did it actually? Or was he just saying he was shaken up? I might have been a Dwayne Rollison caliber delay required. There's no doubt it hits him in the head, and I'm not saying that doesn't hurt, but if the straps don't come off, the goaltenders don't always get that call. I don't see that left strap pop. Oh, no. That helmet was still firmly put on there.
Face off win. Perek works it and shoots the puck. And the rebound skipped away from Martone. Fielder Martone able to hold the line. Shovels that back down to McGinley. He shortens up. Then crisscrosses with Luchenko. Fed back to Perek. Walks in, waits. Looked across for Luchenko. That pass misfired. Ginla. Back in the corner with it. Minute 20 to go in the Canadian power play. Ginla plays that back for Misa. The pass missed him and goes back to center. Now Perek slides in. The puck knocked away from him. Luchenko back with it. In for Perek. Misa parked in front. Perek crisscrossing with Martone. Now Misa slides back out. Here's Perek. Long wrist shot deflected wide. Martone gets to it. Slides that back, and Perek holds the line. Inside a minute to go in the power play. Perek shoots. That was blocked in front by Maciejewskis. Misa with room to Ginla. Back to Perek. To Ginla. Martone trying to find some space in front of Ginla. For Misa, that centering pass was broken up by the goaltender Malrich. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Ginla stays on it. For Misa, at the line that's held. Great play there by Luchenko as the puck rolls on the line and stays in. A centering pass for Perek just missed. And Luchenko back on it. Luchenko centers it. Chance for Ginla. And Malrich makes the stop on that.
No extra penalties being called despite the skirmish in front of the net. Lots of good zone time. Latvia gets tired. They pack it in. They block shots. Perek, we've seen him score a couple from there. We want him to shoot that puck. But good keeps any opportunities. But Latvia is going to be tight around the front of their net. That's a stick from Naudich that gets back to take a backdoor chance away. And just close calls, but not clean, which is how Latvia would like to keep it on the penalty kill.
11 seconds to go on the Canadian power play. Hage in for the faceoff against Mornieks. Mornieks wins that. McKenna has the puck skipped by him, and that'll do it for the Canadian power play. 3 shots on goal. The game remains scoreless here inside 2 to go in the first period. McKenzie drops it back to Brunik. And McKenna flips it back down to the Latvian end. As Liljanskas goes back for it. Martin tried to work that free. Mornieks plays at the center, glove down by Hage. Hage chips that back down to the Latvian end. Delevka. Now the clearing attempt was knocked down by Brunik. For Martin, back to Brunik. Has a lane and shoots. That was partly blocked by Delevka. On the boards, here's Martin. He shoots, and Maciejewskis has gotten away with that. Hage falls, but slides it across to McKenna. Back to Hage. Long shot. Marich save, rebound. And a good stop there by Marich on Martin, point blank. The puck bounced over the glass, and now with 59 seconds to go in the period.
That's what Canada will need to do to break down Latvia. Working around the edges, trying to find seams is going to be tough. Shots and rebounds will be available if you can get the puck down to the net. And Hage finds lots of time. Got Martin right in there. McKenna beats his guy back to the net. That's where the opportunities are going to be. Pucks lying around the crease on these rebounds from screens, and a good look from Martin. Turned aside.
Now Baudouin for the face-off against Maciejewskis. Wins that back to Anyway, feeds that back to Danford. Here's O'Reilly. Chips it back across, waiting for it. Here's Baudouin. O'Reilly. Back to Carls. To Danford. A wrist shot was blocked. Goes right back to Danford. Another chance, and Danford's long shot kicked out by Malrich. Carls plays it back in. Baudouin trying to work that free, rings it around. And Danford with it, down to O'Reilly. For Desnoyers. Works it back across with a one-time shot by Danford, is kicked away by Malrich. Chip back in by Ensens. And Danford goes back to pick it up in the dying seconds of the opening period. Danford pivots back. The teams will go to the dressing room scoreless after the opening 20 minutes. Canada with 10 of the last 12 shots in the opening period.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up.
Good morning. So I think really our focus is...
You're frozen.
Are we freezing?
No, not today. Not today.
Well, the numbers go. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down.
You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock only from TELUS.
Think it can't get any better? We think you should have more. More confidence. More space. More style. And who doesn't want more fun? We all deserve more. That's why there's an SUVW for everyone. Taos, Tiguan, Atlas, Crossport, and the all-electric ID4. I see you looking.
TD Line, how can I help you?
Wow, TD really is available anytime, huh?
Yep, even at
11:33 p.m.
Good, because I lost my debit card.
No worries. You can lock it with the TD app.
That's great.
Would you like us to order a replacement card?
Let's do that. I better call you back.
Literally anytime.
Give me the keys. Julian, come.
Switch to TD for better banking anytime. TD, ready for you.
We started using HelloFresh to make our weeknights less chaotic.
It works. Fresh ingredients delivered. I go on fewer grocery store runs and spend so much less time hunting for meal ideas. It's easy to pause or skip weeks when we need to.
Ready to make weeknights easier? Try HelloFresh.
Came for the tourney? Journey is a contest for knights. You a knight?
I could squire for you, sir. Every knight needs a squire. You look like you need one more than most.
If I could call myself a champion, maybe House Targaryen might take me in. Targaryens, they're incestuous aliens and tyrants.
So, Sir Duncan the Tall, how good a knight are you?
Saturday in Minneapolis, we're 20 minutes in, awaiting goal number 1 in Canada versus Latvia. Michael Misa had his share of chances. The Oakville native and San Jose Shark is with Kenzie Lalonde.
Michael, chances at either end in that first period. What are your thoughts on the opening 20?
Yeah, I mean, it was not bad. I thought we came out strong. I think, we got to bear down on the power play when we get them. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good period.
Yeah, any adjustments you'd want to see on the power play if you get another chance at it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had good looks. Just they didn't go in. Credit to their goalie, he's standing on his head there. But, if we get another power play, we got to make sure it goes to the net.
What was going through your mind when that goal was called back?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge bounce for us. It was a sloppy play by, my line. And, we got to be better there.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
James Duffy back in Minnesota alongside Cheryl Pounder, Frankie Corrado, and Jeff O'Neill. So the exact opposite type of game that we saw last night against Czechia and the style the opponent plays, and yet we get the same result where it looks like another tight hockey game. With Czechia, it was all attack. Latvia's always in full retreat mode, it seems like.
There is not going to be any odd man rushes available for the Canadians tonight. You watch Latvia play, every time in the neutral zone, they have 4 or 5 guys back in their zone, and you're going to have to find a way to get by it. Here's a couple of different examples of how the Canadians did it. Look at the Latvians, everyone, 5 guys back. Gavin McKenna just decides, I'm going to skate the puck up myself, and it works out well. They get a great opportunity from this, but it just doesn't have to be that. This is an icing play where they chase it down and get after it. That's an excellent decision by Perek. There's no sense in trying to make fancy plays or pass it through this because it's just going to get you in trouble. Here's another example. Just simple plays. Up the boards, chip it in, and go after it and go get it. They made a good play just inside the blue line, but that's what's available for the Canadians tonight. Don't try to deviate or fight it because it's not going to change.
Felt like they were starting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I love the fact that they had you showed those clips though, because when you have a guy like Gavin McKenna's on the ice and you're in a controlled breakout situation, you want to get speed underneath that puck. So he comes behind the net. So that was a beautiful example of getting speed, skating into it, knowing you can skate right by it. But then when he's not out there, now you're with that long bomb, right? You're saying, listen, I'm going to send it. I'm going to get support potentially on the bump. But once they get in zone, they've got to find a way to either get a shot off, because there's a lot of block shots by the Latvians, or get them pulling them outside the middle of the ice so that they can get those seams and attack the middle. It's difficult to get by them.
Canada held a team meeting this morning where the coaching staff showed clips of all of the turnovers from last night.
Yeah.
Early on, it looked like they weren't listening.
No, and so Latvia gets 4 scoring chances off of turnovers in that first period. And James, we talked about it yesterday in that game against Czechia. Felt a little nervy, a little jumpy. Well, same thing here in the early goings of the first period. There's a turnover, first shift of the game. Brunic behind the net leads to a scoring change. Ivan Kovic, hope you're ready for the game. Here's Zane Parekh. This is something that was a theme last game against Czechia. Canada gets the puck on one side of the ice on breakouts, and they want to come back up the exact same side. They have to be more comfortable with going out the other side, but at the same time, see the play, make the play. Don't make a hope play. Don't just guess where the puck is going to go. Put a postal code on it. So still a few too many turnovers, especially from Canada's defensemen.
If Canada cleans that up, it feels like Latvia's best chance to score will be if they get any more power plays. Only one in that first period. How do you like the way Canada handled it?
I just want to see a little bit of.
Excuse me.
You want to see a little dog? You want to see a little dog in him?
Little grit, little dog.
Just a little
jacket.
They have 40 minutes left to do it. Somebody take a freeze frame of that, please, and post it on the X for me. We are through one period of play, awaiting goal number 1. A lot of Canadian fans here, although not a huge crowd again for game 2 for Canada at the World Juniors.
Great play starts with an assist. Off the ice, an assist can change a life. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund helps kids lace up and play the game we love. Give your greatest assist at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
Giuseppe believes in celebrating great teammates.
Hey guys, sticks in the middle.
That's why Giuseppe has teamed up with Canadian hockey legend Jerome McGinley to help take your game to the next level. Submit your child's hockey team for Giuseppe's Practice with a Pro contest to win some practice time with Jerome.
Nice shot.
The winning team will get this unforgettable practice experience at the 2026 Memorial Cup in Kelowna. Find out more at GiuseppePracticeWithAPro.com.
By joining the skilled trades, you'll make a living while making places to live. You'll build a strong, stable career for today and for tomorrow. Plus, with over 140 skilled trades to choose from, there's more opportunity than ever to build a bright future for all of us. Building stronger communities right here at home. That's how we protect Ontario.
They had the dream.
You're going to do a Neil Diamond show?
All they needed was each other. Now, Kate Hudson is a Golden Globe nominee for Best Actress in the Best Picture of the Year. Song Song Blue, now playing only in theaters.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
This is the ED. It's not for the faint of heart.
Welcome back. Who else is going to get this place through the 4th of July?
I could use a second set of hands.
And so it begins.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Ravensbergen. I play for the Prince George Cougars, and this is the shuffle variation drill. You start middle of the crease, you do 3 or 4 small shuffles, left to right, and then a T-push back to center. It really helps, like tracking a player off the rush, following them, and if there's a pass back to the middle, being able to beat it on your feet, or play in zone where a player is carrying the puck down a wall and be able to shuffle and keep up with them, and then being able to be quick on your feet and follow a pass to a shooter. I think it's really important, you know, get quick angle changes and be able to change your angle quickly, set your feet, and be able to be ready for a shot.
Most year, that guy would be the starter. This year, he's stuck behind 2 really, really good goaltenders. All right, big weekend in the NFL tonight. Packers need to win their last 2 and have the Bears lose their last 2 to win the division. They're already in the wild card. Ravens need to win out, have the Steelers lose out, and of course, Ravens play the Steelers next week to wrap up the season. 7:30 Eastern Time tonight. Slovakia, Germany, both looking for their first win after opening day losses, scoreless in the first, little scramble in front. And Thomas Schrenko turns and scores in his first World Junior Tournament appearance. It's 1-0, had 5 goals at the U18 last year, and that's just the start of his day. Later in the frame on the power play, Schrenko again in front of the net, second goal of the period, 2-0 Slovakia. There's a theme here. Another man advantage in the second. This time, Schrenko's shot goes off a defender's stick and in. The 18-year-old eligible for the upcoming NHL draft has a natural hat trick in a 34-minute span in his first World Junior game. And Slovakia beats Germany 4-1 is the final in that one. Slovakia looks pretty good. They give Sweden issues yesterday as well. Here are numbers from Sport Logic. The block shot's the big factor for Latvia. 8 of them in that first period of play as Canada dominates O-zone possession, but no goals to show for it. We are scoreless after 1. Canada seemed to be figuring things out as that period went along. We'll see what they can do in the second with Gordon Mike right after this.
Just like this, here for the night, only burning, just keep watching. Goes like this, move from the back, eyes on me, hey like that. Just like this, here for the night, only burning, just keep watching. Just keep watching.
On a crisp winter night by a couch twice their size, gathered a family who saw things with childlike eyes. What was this festive feel? Why, the Tim's holiday meal. There were lattes and donuts topped off with Biscoff, flatbread pizzas with festive fun socks. Let's light up the tree, we heard them cheer. Oh, well, they laughed. A small blunder, my dear. So if you too want that magical feel, feed your inner child with the Tim's holiday meal.
when it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
AutoTrader has the most cars.
I knew they had a lot of cars, but I didn't know they had the most cars.
I'm literally on every night because you never know when a deal can just like pop up.
Everything is there. You'll always find what you're looking for with AutoTrader. The answer is AutoTrader.
It is the work that no one sees. It is relentless. It screams at you. One more set, one more rep, one more time. It is what fuels you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
This is the Mercy Capital Court, powered by artificial intelligence. You're charged with the murder of your wife.
I'm not guilty.
Prove it.
Solve the mystery.
Bring that back. Find out who that is.
Or face execution.
I have something here.
Oh my God. Mercy.
We do the job. We don't ask questions.
My mind, it hasn't been right. I'm afraid. But I can't afford to be afraid.
Most people's first instinct is to run from danger. You ran right towards it.
Memory of a Killer. Special 2-night premiere begins Sunday, January 25th on CTV.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by Wegovy. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
No scoring after one. Canada had 10 of the last 12 shots in that opening period. 11-7 the edge overall. Gord Miller back here with Mike Johnson. We talked about the fact that these Latvian players play in 14 different leagues in 7 different countries. And yet at every level, Mike, when they put on that Latvian national team uniform, they play the same way. They defend great.
They battle hard. They put their bodies on the line. They make life difficult for teams that might have more talent. But if you're impatient, it can be tough. And Latvia did exactly what we expected them to do, which was play on their own end a little bit, but get back around the front of their net, put their bodies on the line, make sure to have sticks in lanes. Don't give up anything easy. Don't give up anything clean. And make it a frustrating sort of afternoon for a team that expects to be crisper than Latvia made them look. So through 20 minutes, that's about as good as Latvia can hope to do against a team like Canada. Now, can they replicate? And Canada, can they get better at maybe breaking down that Latvian defense?
Offensively, here's how it turned out for Latvia. Scoring chances off the rush, 0. Scoring chances off the cycle,
0.
Scoring chances off turnovers,
4. And that's it. They don't generate anything on their own. They generate what you give them on turnovers, and they were dangerous in doing so.
Team start the second period, 5-on-5. Baudouin knocks that loose. Goal Baudouin, the Barrie Colts of the OHL. Plays it back to Desmarais. Long point shot deflected as McKenzie got that away. Plays it back down to the Canadian zone as McKenzie goes back, lost the puck for a moment. Now quickly tries to regroup. Good chance in tight too.
A frustrating sort of afternoon for a team that expects to be crisper than Latvia made them look. So through 20 behind his own net. Thinks he's just going to skate away from a forechecker, and the rebound is a really dangerous chance. 2 cracks at it for Delevka. First one's not a tough save, but the rebound he gets his stick to is a little bit more dangerous, and Ivan Kovac had to be sharp to turn that aside, and has got to respect the speed of Latvia when they get on the forecheck.
McKenzie for Desmarais. In for Brunick. That pass missed. And icing called yet again. So the Latvians are in the top division of the World Junior Championship for the 5th consecutive year. Just 22 indoor rinks. Their best World Junior finish was last year. They lost the quarterfinal matchup to Sweden 3-2. Remember that? They were down early. They battled back, got it close, had some chances late. They had a 5-minute power play late in that game.
We spent a couple of years there in Latvia during some World Championships. Amazing in country with so much pride in hockey with only 22 rinks.
mentioned the Latvians beat Canada in the 2021 World Championship in Riga, but there were COVID restrictions. The building was empty. Although,
which is a shame.
Every cop, firefighter, and ambulance person in Riga, I think, was at that game.
We were very safe.
Misa winds it and shoots. That's kicked out by Malrich. Saraskis plays that back around. And loose at center ice. It's knocked in by Saraskis. But a couple of good chances in that opening period. Correct. Up there by Cloud-Sands. Correct back with him. Lost his stick. And that's going to be a penalty.
Popped in his face, and I think he might have got cut on that hit. And he's a little shaken up. He's spitting out some blood off his... Maybe did the two helmets collide?
Cloud-Sands is going to go off. They're not checking Parak.
They're checking to see if it's a head hit as the referees get together and talk about it. Cloud-Sands coming in. Parak pokes it back. I mean, his feet are well off the ice. He's not that high. Feels like a 2-minute minor to me.
Major penalty under review.
There you go.
So well, call it a major. They can review it now and have a look. Now, here's a little bit of the IHF rulebook, an interpretation that if your hit causes a player's head contact, that can be a problem. So, for example, hitting someone and knocking their head into the boards or glass.
Right, so not just what you hit him, but when you hit him into something as well.
Right.
The most damning bit of evidence there is that his skates were both 8 inches off the ice. Right. Now, he didn't leap into him per se. He wasn't way high, but his shoulder and his head were, you know, into the face area of Parak. Also, he's wearing a cage. And from a guy who played with a cage his whole life, you lead with your head a lot when you play with a cage because you don't fear running into things. It was a shoulder that ended up going into the chin.
Looks like it.
I mean, so I would always interpret this, Gord. This can only be 2 minutes. This is
the NHL rulebook and the IHF rulebook are essentially merged. Now there are some subtle differences, but for the most part, they are the same.
But the interpretation of headshots is different. Right. And so I would look at that and think about it too. But with the skates off the ice, with the contact to the head, with Parak not hurt, but injured enough to have a bit of a little blood coming
are the same.
But the interpretation of headshots is different. Right. And so I would look at that and think about it too. But of the headshot, but wasn't actually a headshot. And of course, Artis Adams will not like the call, but he hit him with his right shoulder in the head. Now, you know, Parak was leaning over. The whole thing reeks of a 2-minute penalty to me, but we can't be surprised even if Latvia is disappointed by the call. And so a power play for Canada. Michael Misa talked about moving around, but needing to just get that last quick pass for a great look. We'll have 5 minutes now to rotate through multiple looks of both groups and can score as many times as they can.
Reshny will take the face-off for Canada on the power play. We talked about it last night. Dale Hunter made it clear that's why he's on the power play, is to win that face-off.
A little conversation between, that's Aitchison and Realists, having a little chat between the benches.
Canada 1 for 3 on the power play last night. Got the goal from Parak. And Reshny for the face-off. loses control. Bounce back down the ice, and that generally losing the opening face-off on a power play will cost you 20-25 seconds of zone time. Played back by Martin for Hage. And Hage almost poke check there by Serkins. Lead pass finds Martin. Rink wide he goes. Reshny banks it back to Hage. Hage back to Brunick and across to McKenna. McKenna feeds that down to Reshny, has a lane and shoots, scores! There's another reason, a little power play. Reshny fires it home, and Canada's got a 1-0 lead. And 4:21 left on this 5-minute power play.
Yeah, Reshny's a high-end player, even if he doesn't play in the power play this group. But the step right here, you could one-time that puck, or you could move, and he moves quickly to a better angle. And Smits gets into the line of sight as a Sionskis. And you see the goaltender working through both of his defenders. And finally one that gets past the shin pads. We showed all those shot blocks, all those active sticks. You get one through the traffic, goalie can't see it. And most importantly, early in the power play, next group comes out, and maybe you can get a couple here. Stretch it out if you're Canada.
Reshny, the 18-year-old from Macklin, Saskatchewan, a first-round pick of Calgary in the last draft. Playing this year at North Dakota, the NCAA, tied for 5th in freshman points in U.S. college hockey. Here they come again. Iginla working in. Feeds that back to Lutsenko from Parekh. Parekh plays it across to Misa. Back from Parekh to Misa. Missed on the one-timer. And Misa back with it. Misa moves it across Lutsenko. Back in front for Iginla. Skipped off his stick. Iginla back around for Misa. Back down to Martone. Now play back to Parekh. Parekh moves in, shoots from a sharp angle. That deflected wide off the stick of Realists.
And if you're Canada, be really smart with your sticks for the next few minutes. No cheap hooks, no cheap holds.
Parekh back to Lutsenko for Parekh. Misa chips that back and front for Martone, and the line held by Parekh. Back down to Misa. Misa feeds that back. Lutsenko looks back in front, goes off the stick and set down the ice by Realists. Parekh. Long lead pass, and that missed Reshny icing call against Canada on the power play.
So the goal-scoring unit gets back on the ice after Reshny opens his goal scoring. And a lot of players, myself included, might have shot the first pass, but he takes it into a better angle with more traffic. And quick snapper that Reshny likes to see, as does Mum Allison. Happy to see that one get by the goaltender and get Canada on the board.
She spent 3 years with Victoria of the Western League. Now loose at the side of the goal, Maciejewska. Bumped there by Martin. Picked free by McKenna. Lead pass to Hage in full stride. Michael Hage works in. Taps that back for McKenna, and at the line, Brunick couldn't hold it. Rink wide pass to McKenna. Trying to work that back across. That's picked off and sent down the ice by Serkins.
Don't want to overstay your power play shifts, even if you're frustrated, this group. One more attempt to get it in. If you don't get it in, you get off the ice.
2.5 to go in the 5-minute power play. McKenna flips it back across to Reshny. Reshny feeds that back to Hage. Up for Brunick. Back to McKenna. McKenna long wrist shot. That's deflected this wide. Hage chops it back to front. Martin was looking across for Reshny. That pass misfired. And Golovka sends it back down to the Canadian zone. 2 to go in the 5-minute power play. Brunick drops that back to Hage. Feeds it back across to McKenna. In for Hage. Whips that back across. Martin shoots. Wow, Rich steered that away. Martin back on it. To Iginla. For Brunick. Feeds McKenna. Gavin McKenna works back and shoots, put that high and wide. Here's McKenna. Banks it back to Brunick. Harrison Brunick's shot was blocked in front. And Schmitz racing to that. Bounces it down the ice on the stick of Ivan Kopic. We'll leave it there for Brunick. 80 seconds to go in the 5-minute power play. Martone. Back to Luchenko in full stride. In comes Luchenko. He's back again. A shot at the goalpost. And Serkin sends it back down the ice.
We saw that release from McGinley yesterday for a goal. That Marinch beat clean right off the bar.
Correct. Up ahead to McGinley. Rink wide for Misa. Misa drops that back to Parak. Looks back to Luchenko. In the corner for Martone. Martone back across to Parak. To the goal mouth. Misa goes between the legs. Managed to stop. Puck still loose. Bounces back to Luchenko. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Luchenko in the high slot to McGinley. Rolling puck for Parak. Parak's pass across is picked off and sent out by Serkin. In comes Parak. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Drop back to Misa. Leaves it there for Parak. Swings it back across to Martone. Looks down to Misa. Final seconds now on the power play. Parak with it. In for Misa. That rink-wide pass was knocked away by Serkins. Canada, 3 shots in that 5-minute power play, including the goal by Reshny. Misa back after this. Parak. Collided hard at the blue line with Serkins. Desnoyers for sharp angle. That's blocked. Gathered back up by Flugans. Carlos Flugans. Lines it back across. That's kicked back in front. Taken by Sam O'Reilly.
High hit there on Latvia. Draws the ire of the bench. Osmanis limps off.
Danford out to center ice. Desnoyers works it back across. That goes off a stick and wide. O'Reilly chops at it. Now stepping up is Aitchison. Shoots. That's off a stick. Up and out of play. Cole Reshny from Macklin, Saskatchewan, as Canada head 1-0 here in the second period on day 2 of the 50th World Junior Hockey Championship.
At OK Tire, we'll fix a car that won't start, a car that won't stop, and even a car that won't stop starting by itself. Whatever the issue, it's going to be okay.
Give yourself the gift of sleep this holiday season.
Hurry in and shop unbeatable deals with 25% off almost everything. Our extended Boxing Week is on now at Sleep Country.
Remember, if you don't snooze, you lose.
Pops and Wild?
The Dream Team. Zootopia 2 is a wildly smart and outstanding sequel that's well worth the wait.
Flash? We'll need to get across town.
No problem. Disney's Zootopia 2. Now playing only in theaters.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
Latvia fresh off of killing off a 5-minute major for a check to the head. Baudouin fortunate to have this one not be the end of his night as well, because that is absolutely a check to the head. That is a call that would be made more often than not, and if they could review that, he would be kicked out of the game for that hit. No penalty called on Baudouin. Canada escapes maybe a 5-minute major of their own.
Artazar Bowles has been active on the Latvian bench. That long shot by McKenzie is blocked and brought back up by Albert Schmidt. A lot of scouts here to watch him. It bounces around to Novich. That long shot taken by Retinas is stopped by Ivankova.
Invest with Fidelity, and reaching your goals may just take less time than you think.
So Canada's got one on the power play, but what they really need is the next one. You feel uneasy when a game is within one break, one bounce, one goal against. And they need to find a way to up the pace of their game to grab the next one.
The face-off. Carl's plays at the center ice. It was knocked down by Schmitz. He's got Baudouin all over him. And O'Reilly Swings it back across to Carls. Up ahead to O'Reilly. Swings it back down to the Latvian zone. Malrich out to play it. Leaves it there for Schmitz. He's got well over him and turns it over to Desnoyers. Trying to feed that back in front. Another chance it. Desnoyers put that wide. Desnoyers finds room in the slot and shoots. Just missed wide. Picked back up by Rathanais. At the line, Danford held that for a moment. Now moved by him and picked back up by O'Reilly. Sam O'Reilly jumps across the line and shoots. A shot by Malrich. He knocked that away. Now picked back up by Hage. In shoots. Rebound. Loose in front. Malrich makes the stop on that as Hage had two good chances in tight. And now the Latvians ice the puck. Hage is slow to get to his feet after that hard collision with the goalpost.
What a pull in traffic from Michael Hage. Coming off the bench, jumps on a loose puck. Gonna shoot it? Nah, we're gonna slide right by. Chris Cowens goes reaching, and Hage goes right past him. Good save by Malrich. For Hage has jumped over top of him, but that was a good glove save. But a move in tight from Michael Hage.
Hage now went for the face-off. Has now lost 7 of 8 face-offs in the game. So for the tournament, has just 3 face-off wins on 20 draws. McKenna feeds that back.
Brady Martin could be better than 15%. He'd have to be. Just tell him to go swing hard at the puck.
Drop back to Hage. Gets the step and shoots, and Malrich knocked that away. Really been the only hole in Hage's game so far.
He's been fantastic, but
Brunick shoots. Malrich makes the stop on that. The rebound bounces back to him.
it's a lot of chasing the puck around that you don't want to have happen. Atskis going a little extra at Brady Martin. I imagine the refs will be a little lenient with Latvia for the next few minutes, coming off the 5-minute major. Latvia doesn't want to tempt fate much more than they already have, giving up 1 power play goal against. And you're right, Michael Hage has been fantastic. He's been driving offense, making plays, generating shots for himself and his line mates, working with McKenna and Martin. But as a centerman, you take pride in that face-off number. I know it's a team event, but you like 15% for the tournament. That's not what you're looking for.
Now Mies in for the draw for Canada. Up against Roberts Polis. It was a clean face-off win by Misa. Back to Parak. His former junior teammate in Saginaw. Parak winds in, flips it back in front. Martone had that shot blocked. And Parak right back to it. Martone kept it alive. Now Janska's the only drafted skater on the Latvian team. Moves it back out. They're going to call this offside. At the Latvian line, Janskis is an Anaheim 7th-round pick.
And little details of the game. So Misha and Parak play together on the same team. They bring Martone off the wall. You'd think, well, you're going to pull to Martone for a shot. No. Misa's just pulling it over to the wall because there's nobody near Parak. And what does Parak do when he gets a little time and space? Good stuff. And goes for a wheel and creates an opportunity. Even though it was counterintuitive, you would have thought the shot from Martone, but it was really just get the puck to Parak with a little space. Well done.
Fired back in by Danford. Malrich out to play it. He takes down Christians Utmans. Utmans is down in the corner.
Yeah, I know.
And Utmans appears to be cut on the play. We'll see how long the power play is when we come back.
Exceptional. That's not a word Canadians throw around lightly. It's a distinction that's earned. And you'll know it when you feel it. North Star Bets. Exceptionally Canadian.
He's got nothing but the field in front of him. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
Touchdown.
back up in the city, I just bought a bus down. Can't be sliding with me, that's until the touchdown.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, Canada!
Latvia going to the power play. The question is for how long? And Danford's going to the box. He gets Unans with his stick right here. Not the glove. That's a stick right across the bridge of the nose. And Unans was injured on the play, leaking pretty badly from his nose. Might have actually broke his nose. Accidental by Danford, but not controlling his own stick. This got to be a 4-minute. I can't believe he's getting away with 2. Look at the Canada's making out on the fortunate side of things on the penalty calls so far. They got a 5. They did not receive a 5 on Baudouin, and this is just a 2. That should have 100% been a 4. Minimum.
So Latvia back to the power play for the second time in the game. Had 3 shots on their first.
They're making the adjustment. Okay, the clock said 2. I didn't hear the announcement, and so they got to put 4 on there. Okay, that's the correct call.
Yeah, it is a double minor. So chance for the Latvians to even it up here past the midway point of the second period. Murniak steps in for the face-off. Plays for St. John in the Quebec Maritime Junior League. Once a game, I'll get that wrong. The old Quebec Major Junior League is now the Quebec Maritime Junior League. Has been for a couple of years now. Old habits die hard.
So a real opportunity here for Latvia, who has fought to stay in this game. 4 full minutes on the power play.
Pulled free by Osmanis. Works it back across to Schmitz, the power play quarterback. Osmanis. He's down on a sharp angle shot by Saratskas. Kicked away in Canada, back shorthanded. Baudouin along with O'Reilly. O'Reilly comes in, splits the 2 defenders, and O'Reilly back on it. Schmitz drops that back to Osmanis. Murniak. Saratskas. Now back at the point is Schmitz. Schmitz to Osmanis. Now Schmitz leans on that shot. Ivan Kovic kicks that out. Murniak. In the corner for Ansons. Back at the point is Schmitz. Back to Ansons. Here is Schmitz. Driving in now, Ansons. Long range shot. Ivan Kovic save. Loose in front. And Baudouin, second try, can't knock it out. Ansons back across to Schmitz. Can get a shot away. At the line, Ansons can't hold it. He's got Luchenko all over him. 45 seconds to go in the first minor penalty. As Christers Ansons fires it down, Ivan Kovic plays it along the board. Reshny. He's there for Brunik and back out to center ice. Bojanskis plays for Flint in the Ontario League. Drop back for Delevka. And poked back out. And a chance now for O'Reilly moving in short-handed. He's knocked down. And Delevka has it back. Delevka. Rink wide pass for Serkins. In the corner to Delevka. Now move back at the point to Janskis. Back across. Janskis tees it up and shoots. That was blocked by Brunik. Janskis back with it, shoots again. And this time Ivan Kovic knocks it away. First minor penalty's over. Reshny back on it. And Reshny flips that back down to the Latvian zone. Nodic, who plays here in Minnesota at Shattuck St. Mary's Prep School, peels back in the corner. They're going to Penticton in the Western League next year. Delevka. Shoots, blocked in front, loose puck. And Luchenko gets to it, has a chance, and pokes that by the tired Delevka. In comes Luchenko. Drops that back to O'Reilly. And O'Reilly walks right back in front. Maurice makes the stop and has to hang on the drive by Sam O'Reilly shorthanded.
It's good recognition by Sam O'Reilly. He steps off the bench. You said it. He can see Delevska tired. He knows Delevska's a forward. So when you have a chance to attack a tired forward one-on-one, that is exactly what you want to do. And don't take it behind the net, but take it right out in front. Luchenko there as well. And Maurice is forced to make a save. Good awareness, a little stop and go. The drive by O'Reilly, had one earlier in the game as well. Pretty good first 2:45 of the penalty kill for Canada.
Schmitz. Up ahead to Ansons. Brings it back around for Osmanis. At the point is Schmitz. Works in, has some room. Schmitz with short angle. Ivan Kovic makes a stop on that.
Could shake his head and get a whistle if he wanted.
There was sarcasm there in your voice, Mike.
Frustration for as an offensive player. You chose to play the position.
Hey. Not sure it's a free-for-all just because they chose to play goal, but all right.
Those helmets are pretty good now.
Reshny. Rolling puck, sends it back down the ice. 25 seconds to go in the Latvian power play. Willianskas. Up for Serkins. Aitchison sends it back down in the final seconds of this Latvian power play.
4 minutes. Canada ran only 4 forwards on the penalty kill. Just 2 units. The guys been sitting around for a while.
Latvians had 2 shots.
Up the middle. Gone.
Perek was trying to move that up for Martone. Deshaun Aitchison tied up. He's taken down behind the goal. Now loose in front, and Perek's got it. And away goes Zane Perek. Has a look across for Martone. And Martone feeds that back down to McGinley. Siege McGinley. Tied up along the boards by Maciescas. And Martone back on it. Back in for McGinley. Misa feeds that back for Perek. Bouncing puck, centers it. That was knocked away by Retenice. At the line, Aitchison can't quite hold it for Canada. 5 to go here in the second period. So the cup here tonight, and it'll be Denmark and Czechia. The United States about to get underway against Switzerland in St. Paul. And a lead pass. Chance there for Serkins. He was tied up by Perek and Danford. Here's Misa back on it. Turnover in front. Bounces back to Bearskow. And his shot deflected away by Perek. Now knocked down by Serkins. Drops it back, and that quick shot by Delevka kicked out by Ivan Kovic. Misa back the other way. Misa drops for Martone. Over Martone, a shot, it got through. And now Ridge able to make the stop. 4:15 to go here in the second period. Day 2 of the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship.
Hey, I'm Will Harris, and I'm the first small to play professional roarball with the fiercest animals in the most dangerous stadiums.
Make him bleed!
You'll never get a shot after this, so don't mess up.
That's your pep talk?
I'm a little out of practice. The planet's watching. Oh my gosh, that's worse.
You don't belong here. You're too small. Show them who's too small.
Night, night.
Goat.
Tell it in the penthouse. We got a TV on the toilet. Even has a remote. Unsanitary, but it's cool. That's toilet.
In theaters February 13th.
On a crisp winter night by a couch twice their size, gathered a family who saw things with childlike eyes. What was this festive feel? Why, the Tim's holiday meal. There were lattes and donuts topped off with Biscoff, flatbread pizzas with festive fun socks. Let's light up the tree, we heard them cheer. Oh, well, they laughed. A small blunder, my dear. So if you too want that magical feel, feed your inner child with the Tim's holiday meal.
All right, get ready for NFL action tonight. At 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, it's the Ravens and the Packers. The Packers are in the playoffs. The Ravens have to win out, and the Steelers have to lose out, but they play each other next week.
Okay, so they need a little bit of help, not that much.
They can help themselves. Start today.
And look who's taking the face-off for Canada.
Brady Martin instead of Hage.
They've been asking for swap it up. And now, if you're Hage, I want you on the hash marks. I want you closer because maybe he wins it clean, but to dive in and support.
Yeah, that's one cleanly by Berniaks. Knocked down by Martin. Going to poke that free to McKenna. On the board, stepping up is Carl to keep that alive. Here is Christiana Sartz. Plays in Black Falls, Alberta in the BC Junior League. And off to the races comes Hage along with McKenna. Hage works in to McKenna. Back across for Hage. That was push checked away by Sionskis. McKenna back down low to Hage. Who's behind the Latvian goal? Hage drops it off to McKenna. Feeds that back to Carl's along the wrist shot. Mallorance the save, and there's no rebound.
Mallorance has been solid.
Yeah, he was the finals MVP of the Latvian League playoffs last year.
You see him with the Omaha Lancer mask on.
It's his first year in the USHL.
But he's given a chance to see the puck. Good seal off by Sionskis. And Mallorance able to get his stick there, or his glove out to it without much worry of a deflection. Just a manageable save. This game feels a lot like last year's.
It does. I was just thinking the same thing.
In an uncomfortable way if you're a Canadian fan.
If you'd said to Latvia before the game, this would be the situation late in the second period, they'd take it all day.
You'll be down 1-0 and you'll have taken a 5-minute major. Yeah.
And pass called at center ice, and play is called.
The one thing you have to admire about Latvia, we watch them all the time at the senior level, junior level, is they do have a real collective spirit about them. Of battling together and supporting each other and having to believe in each other because they know they're the underdog in just about every game they play.
And if you pay attention to Latvian history, their country has been occupied for the better part of the last 500 years. And they live next door to a giant in Russia that they have a very tense relationship with at the moment. Their border is essentially closed to Russia. Someone is going to kick that puck free when they finish standing on it.
Just chop his skate, take his skate off. The only thing you can't do there is kick.
Right.
And you can swing with your stick as hard as you want.
Your endorsement of casual violence never ceases to amaze me. In comes Brunik.
Don't step on it then.
Martone. Feeds that back. McKenzie to Brunik. Back down to McKinley. Spins and shoots. Orange makes a stop on that. Misa with a chance. He goes off to skate. Now wrap the ice. Misa plays it back. Brunik a hard shot. Hit a leg in front. That was blocked by Sionskis. And now a race for it. And getting there first is Saratskas for Latvia. McKenzie has the clearing attempt knocked down. Right back across. Saratskas with a chance. Miscued that. Now it dribbles down. Ivan Kovic knocked that away. And finally, Martone to the line, but not quite out. Lead pass to Martone at center ice missed. An icing called against Canada.
All right, I've seen a lot of things over the years in warm-ups. Marcus Saratskas. He comes out for warm-up with a puck taped to his stick so he can warm up his wrist. He goes with his left hand, then he goes just in his right hand. I've never seen this. He's got a puck taped to his stick that's not on the ice. And then it's supposed to warm up your wrist so you don't fan on shots like that. As Saratskas with an unusual start to his game.
Schmidt's a hard shot, knocked out by Ivan Kovic. And the Latvians applying some pressure late in the period. Tired players on the ice for Canada after the icing. Here's Martone. And this time he lifts it out. Ginla poking at it. Martone gains center ice and lifts that down to the Latvian zone as Canada starts a change. Albert Schmitz fires that down for that.
What was that for?
I think they were trying the indirect pass there.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. He was nowhere near getting his guy first to the puck, Albert Schmitz, who highly touted draft prospect. He's trying to send a flyer, but unfortunately, when you take a slapper, everyone in the building knows what you're doing, so you're not catching anybody off guard, and Reed's got their forward by 30 feet. See if he can make a pay. Hage stepping into the faceoff. There we go.
Wins that cleanly.
Yeah, he moved early. I like the effort, though. You get in there early, you get after it, try different things. Clearly, whatever you're doing is not working. Try different things. And now he's got to be a little timid with the one strike against him.
Borniak wins that. Correct, couldn't knock it down. Chance for a 2-on-1 for Latvia. Osmanis walks right in, beats it the high slot. That shot shoot wide by Borniak. Correct. Up to McKenna, rink wide to Martin. Brady Martin gets a step, that stick.
I mean, you throw the guy. You can trip a guy by accident.
Realists
dropped the stick right into his feet.
McKenna plays it back across. That's knocked down by Schmitz. And looks ahead for Nautic. Swings it back down to the Canadian zone. 30 seconds to go in the second period. And here is Cameron Reed, the captain of the Kitchener Rangers of the Ontario League. And Reed fires that down. Serkins going to clear that out. As time winds down here in the period, Serkins back with it. And so Canada breaks it open on a 5-minute power play. The goal by Cole Reshney makes it 1-0 after 40 minutes.
Generation of stars become legends, and lifelong dreams turn to gold. It's the annual tournament that defines Canadian pride. The 2027 World Junior Championship is coming to Edmonton and Red Deer. Don't miss your chance to celebrate a holiday hockey tradition you'll never forget. Ticket packages won't last long. Your best shot at seeing Team Canada at home is to sign up for the priority draw. Don't wait. The draw closes January 6th. Sign up free at hockeycanada.ca.
Sounds like Ojo time. Feel the fun with all the latest slots and live casino games with huge progressive jackpots and all wins paid in cash. Groovy.
Monday on Prime, 2 Canadian teams collide in the heart of Winnipeg. Oilers, Jets. Monday at 7:30. Prime Monday Night Hockey. It's on Monday. It's only on Prime.
You know I'm something of a performer, too. You don't believe me?
How old are you?
I'm old enough.
Oh, so you corporate types think you're rock stars?
That's as ridiculous as us being corporate types. Let's begin.
Rockstar move using Workday to handle all our AI agents.
Well, watch me handle my agent, Gary. Bubbly water, no bubbles.
So what'd you do this weekend?
The huge.
Shout out to Carmen for using Workday to manage our people and AI agents.
What are we doing? Just clap.
Carmen! Phoenix.ca makes discussing hair loss treatment plans with a physician convenient and discreet. Kind of like that table over there. The one out of the wind. Oh, they have wild hair.
We're going to be playing the EU All-Stars.
This EU team is spectacular.
Players here are overrated. We are not scared of them.
Hear that, Shorzy?
This holiday season, give the gift of endless entertainment and stream hit series. Plus, Canadian Crave Originals. Get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months. Ends January 12th. Terms apply. Only available at crave.ca/subscribe.
Power play goal, the difference in the hockey game so far as Canada clings to a 1-0 lead through 2 periods of play. Here's Reshny with Kenzie.
Cole, your goal, the difference maker, but how has this stayed such a tight game?
Yeah, I think they're they're a hard team to play against. The way they play, it's trap in the neutral zone. We got to dump a lot of pucks and get the forecheck going, but they're a good team. Can't take it for granted.
5-minute power play, you found a way to score. What did you see on your goal?
Yeah, it was a nice play by Gav to walk off the wall there and hit me, and then kind of walked in. Good screen, too. Little blocker was open shot there.
You're trusted in a very specific situation on the power play. You come in and take those draws. What's it like to hold on to that responsibility this tournament?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, something to take a lot of pride in. My 200-foot game and, taking a lot of draws, it's a big thing. Starting every, shift to the 50-50 face-off battle, so it's big.
Coming into the final frame, how do you guys tilt the ice back in your favor?
I think just sticking to our game, sticking to our plan. The way they play, we have a plan to play against it, and we do that, we'll be fine.
Have fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Your second intermission there, Cheryl Pounder, Frankie Corrado, and Jeff O'Neill. Canada, the team and the country, has been through these 5-minute major agonizing reviews before. Last year, Cole Baudouin and the knee-on-knee against Czechia, where a lot of people didn't think it was a major, ended up costing Canada in that game where they get knocked out. I would suggest if this call went against Canada, the nation would be in revolt. Fair?
I think this is a ridiculous call, James. It's only a 5-minute major in a different tournament called the Quebec Pee-wee tournament, not this one. I don't understand how you're going to penalize. Do his feet come off the ice a little bit? Yeah, but it doesn't look like a lot of head contact. I just don't know how that's anything more than maybe 2 minutes. I'm not sure how you view that as a 5-minute major. Imagine your livelihood in this tournament is relied upon that ref making that call, and someone gets a 5-minute major and scores 2 goals and you get punted from the tournament. That would be an awful scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Brecht's head comes down a little bit, but you're looking at that, it almost looked like the contact was just in that upper chest area, even the shoulder. But I'm with you, I'm with you on this one.
Wow.
I know that's saying something, isn't it? But, when you look at it, you're exactly right. On the international game, things are called all of the time, but at best, that's a 2-minute.
Well, they reviewed it for 5 minutes, so I don't know if you guys are angry about the call
that makes it worse.
Or the way the rule is interpreted by these officials.
That's what makes it worse. The fact that you had the chance to review it, and at most it's a 2-minute. This is not hyperbole. That's one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But once you establish that and you say this is going to be our standard for the game moving forward, you have to stick with it. And so Canada gets away with one because Cole Baudouin shortly afterwards is going to have a hit that is head contact. So, if you're going to call it one way, you have to call it the other way. Fortunate for Canada that here's the hit by Baudouin. That's high into the head of the Latvian player. You watch it in slow motion and you say, okay, well, that's more head contact than what was made on the Perek hit, and no call was made. So I think every player's just looking for a little consistency. Canada's on the right side of it.
Right. Canada's been on the wrong side of these ones before. The 5-minute power play was not great, but good enough for that one moment by Cole Reshny.
Yeah, everything the Latvians do, James, is in tight to their own net. They don't want to give up seam plays or skill plays in front of their net. Reshny just gets an opportunity here. Gavin McKenna brings it up top, and I like this play, but don't do it again. The next guy that gets into the slot is Reshny, and it's a great shot just under the triangle with heavy traffic in front of the net. Watch the traffic here. And that's why it's a great opportunity to put that shot on net. The goaltender has no chance. This is a really weird game. It's just like not a lot's going on, but you got to stick with it. We talked in the first what's available. It's not a whole lot.
I don't remember a crowd sort of this dead for a Canada game in North America in a long time. Part of the reason the building's only a third full. Yeah. Maybe it's the way Latvia plays that's part of it. But they need something in the third. Who do you think it likely comes from at this point? Somebody like Perek?
Well, when you look at him on the offensive offensive blue line. I spoke about him the other day, and listen, I don't love him in his own zone, but there's a reason why he's on the team, because he is your first pairing guy. And on the offensive blue line, this is where the magic happens. Look at the heel to heel. There's a ton of ways in which you can walk the blue line. You can sprint it. You can manipulate it by going heel to heel, and I love this play from the back end. He sends this because he recognizes Luchenkos is on his horse, so he's not icing it. But again, just stretching the zone, making it as big as possible, baiting players to come to, or shrink it, then pull it. Draw someone to you, get them turned around. Now all of a sudden you've got support. Now you can create. So that is his gift. Pulling to one side of the line. This is him going backwards. And again, just drawing outside the dots. That's what he's trying to do in everything he's doing. He's trying to pull to him to be able to open up a lane. Even when he's going backwards, he's trying to draw outside of the dots and allow his forwards to read off of him to get to a soft spot to be able to distribute the puck. So you look at that movement, he uses the entire zone. So I challenge all the kids out there. Watch him make it smaller. Watch him make it bigger, because that's how you open it up.
Games like this will come down to the little things and the little plays. And, you know, Sam O'Reilly's a guy that Dale Hunter depends on massively in London. And you figure as this tournament goes on, he'll do more and more with Team Canada.
There's a huge trust factor for Dale Hunter and Sam O'Reilly because of the familiarity. And a game like this that's close, it comes down to these little details and these little habits. So there he is in the first period, big block shot on the same penalty kill, driving to the front of the net. Sam O'Reilly is a smart player and goes over to Tampa Bay in the trade for Isaac Howard. He's going to be a good third-line center throughout the course of his NHL career, and has learned the details and the habits maybe from these guys. That's right. There's Sam O'Reilly in 2017 hanging with the Overdrive fellas, Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Some good mentorship.
He got bigger, you got smaller since that time.
They say you should never meet your heroes, but that happened for Sam.
In that case, I think he posts that on his locker room stall. So before he goes out for this third period, he'll do a little knock to the O, to the Noodles, to the Hayes.
Be a hero. That's what he says.
Well, more stress for Canadian fans as we go to the third period in a one-goal hockey game.
Every great play starts with an assist. Off the ice, an assist can change a life. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund helps kids lace up and play the game we love. Give your greatest assist at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
No one wants to wait. Wouldn't life be great if you could just take that bucket list trip today? Upsize for your retirement sooner than later. Or start something totally new on your own timeline. Life goals. Financial goals. Invest with Fidelity, and reaching them may just take less time than you think.
Yeah, I'll just ask. Wondering about Ozempic? Visit Ozempic.ca for savings.
This is the Mercy Capital Court, powered by artificial intelligence. Detective Raven, you're charged with the murder of your wife.
I'm not guilty.
You have 90 minutes to prove it, or you will be executed.
Use the tools.
Every camera, cell phone, and database is at your disposal.
Show me everyone she had contact with. She was seeing someone. Solve the mystery. Can I see my daughter's socials?
Hear that?
Someone was in my basement. Or face execution.
You're running out of time.
Bring that back. Oh, I have something here. Oh my God.
Mercy. Only in theaters January 23rd.
Could be. Because with Phoenix.ca, I can connect with a physician to talk about ED treatment plans conveniently and discreetly. So I can get help whenever the occasion arises. Whenever.
Bedard to bring him up for Regina. 1-on-2, step by the defenseman to the net. The deke, and he scores! Oh my!
The Western Hockey League, the world's finest development league for junior hockey players. Offering a world-class player experience and the most comprehensive hockey scholarship in North America. The WHL has been a leading supplier of talent for the NHL for nearly 60 years. The Western Hockey League, where community, education, and elite hockey development deliver the best.
You start on the blue line and you receive a pass from a coach on the other side.
When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In plastic cups, fancy cups, teacups, these little cups, or no cup at all. From glassware to footwear to everywhere in between. Because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Molson, everyone in.
By joining the skilled trades, you'll make a living while making places to live. You'll build a strong, stable career for today and for tomorrow. Plus, with over 140 skilled trades to choose from, there's more opportunity than ever to build a bright future for all of us. Building stronger communities right here at home. That's how we protect Ontario.
I've tried everything.
Counted calories, did the burpees.
The burpees. Diet and exercise alone seem to work for everyone else. I'm like, am I the problem?
At Felix, we know your biology can also play a role, so our licensed healthcare practitioners can treat weight loss with this in mind.
I feel seen. The process has been about me and what my body needs.
Turns out I was on the right track with exercise and a healthy diet.
I just needed to add a little more help.
Join the tens of thousands of Canadians starting their weight loss journeys with Felix.
Hey, big guy! Behold, I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that? I'll burn the skin off your bones! That's the old Bowser talking. I need my 8 hours or else I really turn into a monster.
This is the ED. It's not for the faint of heart.
Welcome back. Who else is going to get this place through the 4th of July?
I could use a second set of hands.
And so it begins.
Eyes up here.
Canada's own Crave is soaring to new heights. We've added over 10,000 new hours of amazing content, including the biggest live events, select live sports, news, and all at the same price. Bigger, better, Crave, endlessly entertaining.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by Wegovy. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
Cole Rushney has his first of the World Junior Championship. Another assist for Gavin McKenna, who's got 3 so far. And Canada shooting Latvia 25-18, a 1-0 lead after one period of play. The first anniversary of Latvia beating Canada in a shootout last year. Gord Miller back here with Mike Johnson. Canada's 2 for 5 in the power play so far in the tournament, 5 for 5 in the penalty kill.
you'd think a special teams game would benefit Canada. That 5-on-5, Latvia would need all their defenders. And once you get to a man up, it'd be advantage Canada. And yes, they did score their one goal, Cole Reshney on the power play, but it was in the first minute of a 5-minute major. And for the remaining 4 minutes, Canada did not generate nearly as much quality or quantity that they would have wanted. They certainly obviously didn't score again. So they need to improve on that even though they got one. On the flip side, the penalty kill, excellent. They had a double minor of their own to kill off. They used the same 4 forwards.
Back with it across to Perek. Threads that pass ahead to McGinley. In comes TJ Ginley. Pivots along the board. Slides that ahead. Martone throws it back to Perek. A one-time shot that was blocked. And Reed taps it back, but the puck leaves the zone. Cameron Reed to Martone. Drops it back to Reed. Down to the day off tomorrow. We'll take on Denmark, and it's next. Latvia's got the Finns tomorrow. And here tonight, we'll have Czechia taking on Denmark. Well, brought ahead by Sirac. This is one of the most dangerous Latvian players here this afternoon. Martone on the tape of Misa moving in. And Misa was poke checked there by Albert Schmitz. Again, Schmitz is a highly touted prospect for the upcoming draft. And Saraskis winds in, has a look and shoots. That deflected and it was kicked away by Ivan Kovic. Saraskis back with it. Back at the point, and a long shot. This one from Brett on ice. And Ivan Kovic loves that.
The reality for Canada, when it's a 1-goal lead only, every little breakdown, every opportunity becomes a nail-biter. And Levka has got Perek on his back and keeps him there with some good skating and puck movement and tries to go short side. Ivan Kovic, another early chance against us is plagued. He gets a piece of the stick on it. And that close to potentially tying the game for Dmitry Delevska.
Face off won by Reshney. Up to center ice, Maciejewskis. Pass knocked down. Reshney plays it back to Brunik. At the line, that's knocked down. That long point shot taken by Maciejewskis. Dropped down by Ivan Kovic. Brunik. Lead pass. Missed the intended target. Braden Coots. And that'll be icing against the Canadians. Well, Reshney picked 18th overall by the Calgary Flames in the last NHL draft. Spent 3 years with Victoria of the Western League before going to North Dakota this year, along with Keaton Verhoff. Verhoff is a healthy scratch for Canada. In fact, has not been added to the roster yet. He and Carter Bear are with the team. They've not been officially added to the Canadian roster. You can wait as long as you want. Joshua Ravensbergen, the third goaltender, has been added. He's the backup here this afternoon. Roberts Nudich trying to work that free. Back in the point it goes. Briannas shoots through traffic. Ivan Kovic makes the save. And Coots lobs that back down, and that's going to be icing again, and these tired Canadian players have to stay out.
In each period of this game, the first 2 or 3 minutes haven't been great for Canada. They just haven't sort of been on their toes to start. And Bredish, the most recent one to try. Ivan Kovac, that's a bouncing puck off Lechenko's ankle, and Ivan Kovac's got to find it through all these bodies, and he steers it aside. And Ivan Kovac's thinking, I've had enough of this Latvia team. Second year in a row, he's in a nail-biter with them.
Where's the 7 goals from last night?
Yeah, where's this potent offense?
Ivan Kovac, a Nashville draft pick. UC Saros could identify. He's had some of the lowest goal support in the league the last 5 years. Baudouin in across the line. Baudouin with a sharp angle shot goes off the stick.
That was out of the, into the mesh.
Took a while to make the call, but it finally did come.
So it's interesting to see Canada. We're into the second game. Last night's game was fantastic. It was high-paced. We're grinding it out against Latvia here. The third and fourth lines are still trying to find their identity and some offense and some shuffle the deck of who's playing with who and who's playing where in the third and fourth lines. I still think Dale Hunter is searching for more puck play at the bottom end of his roster. These are talented guys, top 5 picks, first rounders, huge scorers. They can clearly do it.
Well, if the pass is any indication, go back to 2020, he was tinkering with the line combinations the third period of the gold medal game. So,
got to play then, I guess. You want your spot.
Reed, back around to O'Reilly. Here's Denoyer on it. Denoyer, back to O'Reilly. Denoyer with a shot tipped wide by Baudouin. Go Baudouin. Knocks that down, and Denoyer stepped hard into Sionskis. At the line, O'Reilly couldn't quite hold it, flips it back down to the Latvian zone, and Canada will change. Baudouin gets a stick in there, but the loose puck picked up by Masievskis. On comes the Misa line for Canada. With Iginla and Martone. We're at the ice, directing traffic. Now racing back is Danford. At the line, the Latvians couldn't hold it, fired back in by Realists. Danford up ahead to Iginla. TJ Iginla gets a step. Up for Misa that bounced off his stick. And the puck goes into the Latvian bench.
It's going to take some sort of rebound tip to try to get one here, and Baudouin almost pulls this one. That's a really nice tip. The defensemen are fronting, so they're trying to block all the wristers or shots from the point. You got to get it past the shot blocker.
You can see his reaction. They go, "Ooh, I was close there."
And he knows it, and you got to find a stick to get a tip, and Baudouin almost did it.
Baudouin, Canada, Ontario native, suburb of Ottawa.
It's also worth noting, and we've talked about, he's wearing an A. Dale Hunter allowed the players to vote for the letters, which I feel like I'm 10 years old again. That's what we used to do. I always make sure I got one vote for captain. My own.
Runick back around to Hage. Let's get back to center ice. And here is Ethan McKenzie with it. Back across to Brunick. Snaps that pass ahead to McKenna. In comes Gavin McKenna. Drops it off to Hage. Great move. Shoots. And a point-blank save by Martin. Martin tries to knock that free. McKenna comes in to poke it loose. And Nautic has it back for Latvia. Roberts Nautic plays it in deep. Brunick back on it. But clearing attempt hit the referee. And now McKenzie will try the other side. Lead pass to Martin. He's straightened up at center ice by Serkins, who's been terrific for the Latvians here this afternoon. Schmitz winds in, has a step and shoots. That's off the stick of Reed. Up and out of play.
After 2 periods, Canada has only had 4 chances off the rush. We'll make it 5 here as McKenna cross and drop, finds the speed of Hage. He flies by his defenseman. Who am I to question his decision-making here alone, but looks to me like he's got far side, a lot of room over the glove if he wanted. He's going so fast. He's got to gather the puck and himself, but I think he knows exactly what I'm saying. The far side was available.
Age of Mississauga, Ontario native. in his second year at Michigan, the Big Ten Rookie of the Year last year, picked 21st overall by Montreal in the 2024 draft.
You wonder if does he find himself in Montreal by the end of the year? You know, finishes his college season, which might go all the way to the Final Four. They hope.
They're ranked number 1 in the nation right now.
But Montreal's having such a good year. Pull everyone out of school is not quite so simple when you're a good team. They've been looking for a second-line center there in Montreal.
They might have just traded for one. Their old second-line center.
This is true.
Renault.
He might be more like third or fourth.
Coots throws it wide. One thing we know about the Canadians, they're not in a rush. Up pass is picked off by Serkins. Serkins works back in. Reed stepped into him. Here's Perek back to pick it up. Same Perek. One hand's out ahead. Christian Sartz. That pass picked up at center ice by Baudouin. Baudouin works it and shoots, and a save made by Marich. And the puck goes up and out. It's day 2 of the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship here on the campus of the University of Minnesota, here in Minneapolis.
They had the dream.
You're going to do a Neil Diamond show?
All they needed was each other. Now, Kate Hudson is a Golden Globe nominee for Best Actress in the Best Picture of the Year. Song Blue, now playing only in theaters.
On a crisp winter night by a couch twice their size, gathered a family who saw things with childlike eyes. What was this festive feel? Why, the Tim's holiday meal. There were lattes and donuts topped off with Biscoff, flatbread pizzas with festive fun socks. Let's light up the tree, we heard them cheer. Oh, well, they laughed. A small blunder, my dear. So if you too want that magical feel, feed your inner child with the Tim's holiday meal.
The Czechs and Danes looking on, and remind you that the show continues Saturday. January 3rd is the Golden Eyes of Vancouver take on the Fleet of Boston in Detroit. Coverage at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN.
Remember growing up when you're at a minor hockey tournament, you're watching the game, and the coach always had to come out and say, all right, guys, time to get dressed. Time to get ready.
Right.
I'm hopeful that that happens here. These guys want to watch the end of the game. They're like, no, coach, we want to watch the end of the game. Then we'll get ready. I only need 5 minutes to warm up. We're good.
Touch your toes a couple times, and away you go.
Not even.
Misa. Back to Carls. Back across to Danford. Looking for the bank shot off the end boards. Didn't get the carom, but it's still loose for a moment. And Misa having a close look as Maurich kept that out.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's Porter Martone right there. There's a puck bouncing around the side of the net. Of course you're going to dig after it. It's not a penalty. I don't know what Latvia's complaining about. They got a lot to complain about in this game, but not this. It's loose. You're sort of taking a swing at it before you get buried with a cross-check or Flugic. But nothing to speak of here for Porter Martone. He draws all 5 Latvian defenders surround him. Canada needs a greasy one like that.
Face off, one back to Danford. Now Carls has to retreat. Holds the line, though, as he does. And Baudouin chips it back down to the Latvian corner. Borniaks to the line. That skipped away from Danford and swings it back down to the Latvian zone. 7 gone here in the 3rd period. Canada leads 1-0 on a power play goal by Cole Reshny in the 2nd. And the captain, Oskar Brianna, steps out. Plays in Sweden. Ahead to Baudouin. And Baudouin steps around Schmitz. Stays on it. Taps that down to O'Reilly. Sam O'Reilly. For Baudouin. Rings it back around to Brunik. And Brunik chips that ahead. Baudouin feeds it back to Brunik. Holds. Goes across to McKenzie. Drops it back in a halo shot that goes wide. And Baudouin picks it back up. to McKenzie. Off the end boards, Martin chips it back in front. Great stop inside by Marich on Desnoyers.
Canada has gone to the intentional miss the net off the backboard option to try to get it down around the front. Almost worked.
Martin picks that free. Swings it back to McKenzie. Look back across. That pass was broken up by Ilyanskas. And the lead pass almost found the streaking Osmanis, but it was in behind him. And now Misa tries to kick it ahead. Ilyanskas broke that up. Almost a clear breakaway for the Latvians there as McKenzie goes back. Brunik. Battles along the boards. Liknautic. Misa. Across to Iginla. And TJ Iginla lays it back across to Martin jumping in. Martin has a look. In the corner with it. Banks it back around to Misa. Loose puck at the side of the goal. Couldn't connect there. And Misa, careful not to reach in too much in Moniak as he plays it back down in the Canadian zone. And play is called at the Canadian line.
One thing Canada cannot do is let a Latvian player get in behind them, and Osmanis is breaking, and a quick stick from Brunik maybe turns that breakaway aside. And here's the earlier chance. That's off the back wall, tipped by Sam O'Reilly, and that allows Desnoyers to get to the inside position of his defender for one of Canada's better chances in quite some time. Marich turns him aside. That close. And Caleb Desnoyers almost getting that insurance goal Canada's looking for.
Broken stick for Reshny off the face-off. Quickly gets another. And Reshny winds through center ice. Reshny shoots. And Marich makes the stop on that. There's no rebound.
Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
Latvia's been very stout in defending the front of their net, protecting their goaltender, but they got to be careful here, grabbing masks and pulling helmets off. Reshny's not doing anything wrong there. He's just standing there, stopped, before he's wrapped up by Bears-Callums. Don't want to take a needless penalty.
Latvia plays Denmark on December 30th. That'll be the game that they would hope to win to secure a quarterfinal spot and avoid playing in the single-game relegation playoff. They played it 3 years ago and survived. Martin feeds it across. That shot by Breck was blocked in front. Brought back up by Christian Sartz. Goes after his own shoot-in. Reed couldn't get it by him, and now Martin's got it back. Martin looks ahead just out of the reach of McKenna. Marich plays that away. Stepping up is Reed. Looks across to Perek. Slings that back across to Martin. Brady Martin drops for McKenna. Shoots from a sharp angle. Marich save, and he corrals the rebound. A late poke there from Martin. He's knocked out.
No reaction from the officials. And Brady Martin trying to draw a call. The question is, did he get a cross-check up into his chin? Or is Albert Smith telling him he's faking that one?
Smith's kind of tapped him on the back with his stick after the play had ended.
I don't think that's saying sorry. McKenna goes to the tight angle shots, sealed off. Martin takes a dig. It's 27, Sudackas. That's towards the shoulders. Oh, jeez, that's in the chin. No matter how hard it is, it's still in the, and he knows it. Sudackas turns around saying, nobody looking, nobody checking. You're checking your teeth afterwards, legit. But it doesn't look like anything is going to come of this one. And it feels like Canada is close to drawing a penalty on Latvia around the front of their net. It's getting progressively chippier.
Face off in the Latvian zone. It'll be O'Reilly to take it. Draw won by the Latvians. Sionskis moves that back across to Schmitz. And And Schmitz goes after his shoot into the Canadian zone. Now Schmitz had lost his stick. It's back into play. Here's Aitchison. Banks it ahead for Desnoyers, who chips that down to the Latvian zone. Icing called against Canada.
Yeah, the crowd trying to get into it for the first time all afternoon. And the Let's Go Canada breaks out. As they're trying to get some energy. In this game is Brady Martin still looking a little confused at how he didn't draw a penalty last time out. Sam O'Reilly's the guy they want for these right side defensive zone face-offs on the ice.
Latvians control though. Saratskas looks down to Polis. Hansen's tied up by Baudouin. Here's Saratskas in behind the Canadian goal, banks that back. Ulyanskas got his pocket picked there by Desnoyers. Out to center ice. Knocked down by Realists. And Canada's going to tag back up. Here's Realists with it. Up to Ulyanskas, who chips that back down to the Canadian zone. 9.5 to go here in the third period. Another knee knocker between Canada and Latvia. He's brought back up by Misa. Burdick is driving with him. Misa winds in, looks for Burdick. That pass bounced away from him. Misa behind the goal for Martone. Woodnads out to center ice, knocked down by Carson Carls. And Iginla lobs that high in the air, the bouncing puck. At center ice, picked up by Iginla. In comes T.J. Iginla. Shoots from a sharp angle, Mellons to stop, and again, a late drive. And this time, it's Martone who goes in, but he was shoved in. 8:57 to go here in the third period. Still Canada up 1-0.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
Bar none, there's nothing else better than Auto Trader.
Knowing they're Canadian, I think absolutely is a cherry on top.
That definitely changes the game for me.
It's been around for 50 years, and it's still the best place to buy or sell a car. The answer is Auto Trader.
It's been a nail-biter for Team Canada and their supporters, including Crystal McKenna. She has her own font because she is involved in the game. Crystal, Willie, daughters Madison and Casey have been on the edge of their seat and frequently off the seat with some of the close chances Canada and Gavin have created. I think Gavin picked up an assist on the lone power play goal. Love for him to get one more here. So we're under 9 to play. Still a one-goal game.
McKenna's from Whitehorse, Yukon.
That would have made for some road trips.
Correct. Winds across, shoots, and a skate in front, still bouncing there. Gathered back up by Osmanis. And Osmanis lost the puck to Perek, who plays it back across to Reed. Looking ahead to Martin for McKenna. Gavin McKenna slides that for Hayes with a shot that goes off the leg of Vitold. Back the other way is Martins Vitold. Lost the puck to Reed. McKenna chips it ahead for Hayes. Michael Hayes in a high slot for Perek. And now McKenna trying to hold the line. Back at center ice, here's Hayes. A funny bounce in the corner, and that's gathered back up by Delevka. Realists being harassed there by Coots. Back up by Delevka. In the corner is Delevka. Got a couple of good looks at this game. Along the boards, picked up by Luchenko. Out with Reshke. Luchenko trying to get a step, but he's erased there by Briannis. Serkins on the other side. Moves it ahead, but that's picked up by McKenzie. And McKenzie gains center ice and wrists it back down to the Latvian zone. Luchenko back in the corner. And here's Uljanskas for Latvia. Off the skate of Reshny, and Coots trying to get it right back to him. And at center ice, McKenzie knocks that down for Coots. He's shooting at Rethen ice. Canada gets fresh legs back out there. This is the O'Reilly, Desnoyers, Baudouin line getting a workout here in the third period.
And they're going to play a lot in the remaining 7 minutes. Every third or more shift.
Carls and Danford back on defense. Maciejewskis. And then rule off his stick, picked up by O'Reilly. Back across for Desnoyers. To O'Reilly, the pass out of his reach. Now O'Reilly got in the way of that. Danford chips it back down the Latvian zone. Rapid ice. Brings it back around. Held in the line by Carls. Carson Carls with a shot that goes off the skate of Maciejewskis. And Baudouin had to leave it there as the play was going to be offside. On come Misa, Martone, and Iginla. Nowdish sandwiched there by Carls and Danford. Misa looks ahead. That pass was knocked down. Schmitz works back in. Martone knocked it away. A race for it now. Martone along with Misa. In comes Martone. Winds in. Martone has a look. And that long wrist shot floats wide.
Well played by Schmitz there to stay with him all the way across the zone.
Now Iginla spreads it back for Martone. And then pass it behind for Misa. Misa looks back. And a quick shot there. Rattled wide by Parak.
Now it's the Parak special there. Drag and pull. He did it twice last night. Almost got it past Maric.
And now the Latvians ice the puck with 5:41 to go in the third period.
Is this just clip? Oh, it deflects on something. Was that TJ Ginley gets a piece? And got to be ready to take it to make a play. That's a good squeeze from Fridis. And not one, but two Carls and Danford take a little run at Nowdish.
Sianskas up along the boards. That's chipped by Utnans, but kept alive by Brunik. Poked at by McKenzie. Now ranging back is Harrison Brunik. Calgary native. Brunik gains center ice and fires that down to the Latvian zone. Now it bounces by Brunik and McKenzie. McKenzie has to race back as he had Osmatis closing quickly on him. That was kept alive by Ansons. And McKenzie picks that free. Out along with Page and McKenna. Page winds in. Page drops it back. Wait, his mark shoots at the goalpost. Off the crossbar and out. Now picked up by Page. Page weak wide. Martin again shoots and fired that wide. McKenna back on it. And now McKenna pivots back. Martin was spilled in front. McKenna throws that back to Reed. Reed drops it off to Parak. In comes Zane. Parak with a chance. Shoots. Howard's got an arm on that. No one knows where the puck is. It bounces back to Reed. He looks for Parak. Parak swings it back across. And a hard shot by McKenna. And again, the goaltender Mauridge is calling for a stoppage as the puck hit him up high.
He's fine.
Makes the stop here to keep it a 1-0 game.
We present to you some of the biggest stars and biggest dramas on Paramount Plus, like Tom Hardy in Mobland, Michael C. Hall in Dexter Resurrection, and Billy Bob in Landman.
Stream Paramount Plus. Give yourself the gift of sleep this holiday season.
Hurry in and shop unbeatable deals with 25% off almost everything. Our extended Boxing Week is on now at Sleep Country.
Remember, if you don't snooze, you lose.
When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. Because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Molson, everyone in.
From a first game
to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals, we are dedicated to Canada's game.
Canada coming so close to getting that second goal. Brady Martin right down the gut. Beats the goaltender. Hits the bar. Crystal McKenna thinks it's in, but it did not get over the goal line. And it has been battle central down in front of the net. Both teams giving as good as they're getting. And the last shot, right in the mask. Marich wants a whistle, and he gets one as Martin got to be careful.
Used to be automatic in the IHF. The puck hit the goalie in the mask. Play stop.
That was not a good rule.
Now loose. Misa centers it. Again, look at the chance in tight. Lowrance to stop on that. 4 to go here in the third period. Hit by Aguila there. And now Martone plays it back. And Sean Aitchison, the Toronto native, gains center ice and fires that down as Martone goes after it. Martone trying to work that free and keep the puck at this end of the ice. Gathered back up by Serkins. Looks ahead for Delevka. Swinging back is Danford. Danford got tied up there by Delevka. And Aguila's got it back. On his backhand, flips that back to center ice. Canada makes a big change as the O'Reilly line comes on with Desnoyers and Baudouin. Long shot taken there by Seelig. Just knocked up by Ivankovic. Now the centering pass skips by everyone and back down the ice. The Latvians tied the game last year with 2.5 to go in regulation. Realists has a look ahead, being watched there by Desnoyers. Nowditch has that pass, bounce back to Perek. And Perek snaps that pass ahead to O'Reilly. Rolling puck for Desnoyers. Back down the Latvian zone as Janskas goes back at the line, helped by Perek. Zane Perek in for Baudouin. Back across to Reed. Throws that back down low for Desnoyers. He gets loose behind the goal, chips it there. And O'Reilly racing to it. 2.5 to go here in the third period. Nowditch up ahead for Udnats. Broken up by Reed. Baudouin looks ahead to O'Reilly. O'Reilly a long shot, and Malrich has to hang on to that with Desnoyers lurking dangerously.
Whistles in the offensive zone are Canada's friend right now. And just trying to do the same things. That fourth line, we're going to call him Baudouin's line, has been really solid. Playing without the puck.
Out come Hage, Martin, and McKenna.
If you're going to start them anywhere, you want it to be in the offensive zone, especially with the face-off struggles of Hage. You don't want him taking anything in his own end.
He's lost 7 of 8 in the game. Lost 10 of 12 last night, so he's in for the draw here against Bears-Counts.
That's how you jump for Gavin McKenna. That's how you support your centerman. The right idea. That was a jump on Latvia.
And one completely by Bears-Counts. And we'll keep an eye on the Latvian goaltender Malrich as Brunik goes back for it. Back around to Carls. McKenna reaching for it. Gavin McKenna can't squeeze that by Delevka. Delevka goes back across. Starts a long shot. Rebound score! Bears-Counts ties the game with 1:58 to go. And it's deja vu for Canada against Latvia.
Did he get a stick on that one? And they already had one called back that was kicked in. Did he get a kick and a touch? Bears-Counts. And it's another breakdown in the load. Oh, he kicked it off his own stick. It's got to count. That's good. Bears-Counts almost accidentally shoves it sideways into the heel of his stick. Ivan Kovic won't love this rebound, but again, That's not good enough coverage. That is confusion and a breakdown in this man-on-man system. They're going to review this, but it won't take long. It's a kick right off the heel. Yeah, 100%. There's the view you need. This will take 5 seconds. Goal will count. And just like last year, under 3 minutes to play, this time under 2 minutes to play, Maurinch doing his best impression of Feldbergs from last year. Latvia has tied the game. Wow.
Moved in by Realists. Here's Perek back on it. Lifts it back to center ice. Now Reed with it. Back across to Misa. Misa. That pass misfired. Icing waved off as Ulyanskas goes back. Back to pick it up is Cameron Reed. Across to Martone. He collides there with a Ginla at center ice. Then Serkins plays it across. Perek jumps up, kicks that ahead for Misa. In comes Misa. Gonna drop that back now. Perek's got it. Zane Perek looks back across. Desnoyers for Perek. Slaps it back across to Reed. Can't get a shot away. And now he gloves that down. They'll both leave it here with a minute to go and finally touched up by Desnoyers. And hang on, the Latvians are saying the faceoff should be outside, but the officials are ruling it'll be in the Latvian zone.
Albert Smith better relax. He's put his hands on the linesman, demanding that puck outside. And I think what the refs are ruling is that if you intentionally don't play the puck because you know it's a high stick, it stays in your end. So here comes Canada. Baudouin's line trying to find a last-minute answer. Two officials are still talking about this in the neutral zone, and they agree.
The face-off will be in the Latvian zone. Baudouin for the face-off against Mornieks. Wins it back to O'Reilly for Danford. Off the inboards, looking for that Karam again. Picked up by
straight
out. And that's going to be a minor penalty to Latvia for delay of game.
And now Latvia's saying it went over the bench and not over the glass, but it was pretty demonstrative, and I think this all stems back to that decision to put the face-off in the defensive zone.
It doesn't matter where the puck crossed, it matters where it winds up. So even if the puck crossed that corner of the bench, if it winds up over the glass, it's a penalty.
It wouldn't matter either way. Went over the glass and then the glass again. So Canada, a power play that has been mechanical, as I've called it, has a chance. And they want this done in 51 seconds. They want the full 3 points.
Right.
They want to keep it clean because that matters with the tie-breaking scenarios. Got to have a face-off if you're Cole Reshny. Have to have it.
And against Matsieskas.
Break for Latvia. They're going to blow it down for an early jump for Martin, but they did not.
Away comes Perek. Slides that back to McKenna. Gavin McKenna winds in. McKenna looks across to Reshny. Sets it up for McKenna. 30 seconds to go in regulation. Perek lays it back down to Reshny with Martin posted right up in front. Reshny winds in. Drops it back to Perek. Shoots. That's blocked. That's off a skate up and out. The faceoff will stay in the Latvian zone. 18 seconds to go here in regulation.
All these high-end players for Canada, but it's very stationary. There's 4 guys standing around the perimeter. Their sticks in the air wanting to shoot the puck.
And now they'll change the power play unit. They'll send out,
I don't blame them.
It'll be Misa, Iginla, Luchenko, Martone, the forwards. Perek stays out there.
Right side, needed a strong right side centerman as well for this one.
And once again, Maciejewskis to take the draw for Latvia. Luchenko wins it back. Perek in, shoots. That was blocked. Perek able to hold his own. Latvians are arguing it came out. Luchenko, time winding down. In comes Perek. Same Perek. Swings it back across for Nisa. Nisa shoots. That's blocked. Time winding down. Nisa nevertheless fires again. Blocked by Maciejewskis. Amazing. And this game will go to overtime.
What an effort.
For the second straight year, Latvia scores a late equalizer, and Canada will have 1 minute and 9 seconds of power play time to carry over into the overtime.
And Perek did, in fact, keep this one in. Somehow found a way. But did not matter because Maciejewskis would not let a puck go through. Kick save and a beauty. Eats that one in the calf. Not going to stay down. You're going to get right back up and take another one before being helped off the ice by his teammates. Now Inch in the box, living and dying with every second. And Latvia gets at least 1 point.
On to overtime we go again in a Canada-Latvia game.
Canada's Ultimate 50-50 is back. 3 huge draws across the country. It's Hockey Canada's biggest power play yet. Score your chance to win at hockeycanada5050.ca or scan the QR code on your screen.
Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Thank you, Kendra.
Tim, you're up.
Good morning. So I think really our focus is
You're frozen.
Are we freezing? No, not today. Not today. Where are my numbers go? If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down. You want to go with Kendra?
Yes.
Poor cable internet connection.
When the stakes are high, why rely on cable internet? Switch to Canada's most reliable internet technology with a 5-year plan price lock only from TELUS.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
Eaters. The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by TELUS. Now offering 5-year plan price lock on select mobility and internet plans. By ESSO, from the ESSO Medals program to representing Team Canada. ESSO is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons. Try the Tim's Holiday Meal today.
And so Canada will open the overtime period on a 4-on-3 power play. It's 5 minutes of OT, and if necessary, a shootout in the preliminary round. In the quarterfinals, semis, and bronze medal game, it's a 10-minute overtime. The gold medal game is unlimited overtime until a winner is scored.
And it'll be 4-on-3 if Canada doesn't score in the minute 9. Then it's 4-on-4 until there's a whistle. And now Inch hopes he gets on the ice to make that happen.
Orange has stopped the last 23 shots he's faced since he was beaten on the power play by Reshny in the second period. Page, McKenna, along with Martin and Perek, start the power play for Canada. Maciejewskis, who was heroic in that penalty kill late in the period, starts the OT. Tap back by Martin for Perek. Zane Perek lays it ahead for Hage. Michael Hage works in as Canada gets set up. Hage pivots back across, crisscrossing with McKenna. Perek looks for McKenna. Back to Perek across to Hage. He missed time with one timer. Hage back down to Martin. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Hage with it. Works it back to Perek. To McKenna. McKenna snaps it back in front. Great stop by Marriage. In tight on Martin. What a stop there.
At some point, you just can't let guys tackle the guy in front of the net. Greenish is all over anyone who gets near him. And it's a really good look here, McKenna, through the seam. It's tough to elevate this if you're Martin. But watch Greenish coming at the end. Bury a guy from behind and put him in a headlock. And that puck deflected up. Martin couldn't quite find the angle to redirect it into the net.
Now Reshny will come on to take the face-off. After this close call for Martin, who goes off. Once again, Maciejskis to take the face-off for Latvia. Reshny wins it. Back to McKenna. To Perek. Cross. Page. To Perek. Page. Got a slap pass it back. Winters. McKenna looks back across. They score! Michael Hage, overtime winner, and Canada takes it 2-1. Latvia takes Canada to the distance and then some again. But this time Canada comes out on top 2-1 in overtime. Once upon a time, these games were foregone conclusions for Canada. Not anymore. What a performance by the Latvians.
Gutsy, and it took a bit of a fortunate bounce to set up the scene. Hayes is trying to pass this puck down to the front of the net, but it ends up right onto McKenna's stick. And as Latvia collapsed, reading the pass to the net, that opened up the scene going back the other way. Watch this puck carom right to McKenna, and all of a sudden, the clean seam is open, and it's too far for Maurich to go. McKenna puts it right where Hayes needs it, puts the heel on it, make sure he gets all of it, and elevates into the open net. Canada gets the win. 2 out of 3 points. That was not as easy as Canada was hoping for at all. Yeah, McKenna's mom finally gets to celebrate that one as her son picked up 2 more points in this game.
That assist of both goals. You got 4 in 2 games.
Gutsy effort for Latvia.
Final shots 38-27 in favor of Canada. And now the player of the game presentations, and then the Canadian national anthem.
10,000 ranks mural, specially commissioned for the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship, and finished with the player of the game patch. Designed by Minnesota-based Indigenous artist Shauna Boulette-Greipentine as part of the Assist 26 community initiative, the artwork honors the Indigenous lands, cultural teachings, and deep hockey roots that define Minnesota. In addition, a donation will be made on behalf of each Player of the Game award to the Mosaic Hockey Collective, a Minnesota nonprofit that focuses on building an inclusive hockey community that empowers players of color with skills, resources, and positive experiences to grow and give back to the game. The prizes will now be presented by Dr. Marcus Fearing and Matt Carlson, head athletic trainer, Tria Orthopedics, the official medical provider of the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championships. The best player of Team Latvia, number 30, Niels Morange.
Morange was terrific for the Latvians, allows 2 goals on 38 shots, both in the power play. Plays for Omaha in the United States Hockey League.
The best player for Team Canada, number 23, Sam O'Reilly.
Defensive gang, Sam O'Reilly plays for head coach Dale Hunter. He was effective in his leading his line.
And now, fans, we ask you to please rise if you are able for the playing of the national anthem of Canada.
Laffy back with you. A carbon copy of last year in Ottawa, except with an alternate ending. A collective national exhale as Canada this time survives against Latvia. And unlike last night, out for the handshakes. And the tendency is to say, what's wrong with Canada in a close game like this? Full credit to Latvia. Terrific goaltending. All those block shots. A boring system, but a system they had to play, and it worked as they take Canada to overtime before falling 2-1. So it hasn't necessarily been pretty. The game against Czechia last night was wild, not necessarily the way Canada wanted it to go defensively, but unlike last year, they get it done. This one was not pretty at all, but unlike last year, they get it done. And so Canada, with 2 victories, they do lose the point for not winning in regulation. So on top of Group B, Finland right behind. Of course, Finland can take over with a regulation win in their next game. Here's what's up ahead. The Americans playing Switzerland over on TSN 3 and leading 1-0 in the second period in that one. Our next game is Denmark and Czechia tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on the air for that. And Canada's next game after a day off tomorrow will be against Denmark, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Should be the easiest game of group play for Canada, but I'm not taking anything for granted anymore. Exactly the most scintillating game, but a dramatic end as Michael Hage gets it done for Canada in overtime, and they beat Latvia 2-1. But thank you for watching here on the World Juniors. We'll see you tonight, and then for Canada's next game on Monday against Denmark. Matt Scooby's up next with SportsCenter and tons more reaction from here in Minneapolis.
Canada, welcome inside SportsCenter. I'm Matt Scooby. What a game. Canada narrowly avoids a second upset to Latvia at the World Juniors. Let's show you how it happened. Again, it was historic. Was at that game in Ottawa last year, but we'll get to the highlights of this one. So Canada-Latvia.
McKenna feeds that down to Resch. Back to Brunick. And across to McKenna. McKenna feeds that down to Resch. He has a lane and shoots. Scores! There's another reason to know power play. Rushdie fires it home, and Canada's got a 1-0 lead. And 4:21 left on this 5-minute power play.
Reshi's a high-end player, even if he doesn't play in the power of this group. But the step right here, you can one-time that puck or you could move, and he moves quickly to a better angle. And Smits gets into the line of sight as a Youngskis. And you see the goaltender working through both of his defenders. And finally, one that gets past the shin pads. We showed all those shot blocks, all those active sticks. You get one through the traffic, goalie can't see it, and most important.
Back to Brunick, and across to McKenna. McKenna feeds that down to Resch. He has a lane and shoots. Scores! There's another reason to know power play. Rushdie fires it home, and Canada's got a 1-0 lead. And 4:21 left on this 5-minute power play.
Reshi's a high-end player, even if he doesn't play in the power of this group. But the step right here, you can one-time that puck or you could move, and he moves quickly to a better angle. And Smits gets into the line of sight as a Youngskis. And you see the goaltender working through both of his defenders. And finally, one that gets past the shin pads. We showed all those shot blocks, all those active sticks.
Galevka goes back across. Gavin McKenna can't squeeze that by Galevka. Galevka goes back across. Starts a long shot. Save, rebound, score! Ross Burskows ties the game with 1:58 to go. And it's deja vu for Canada against Latvia.
Did he get a stick on that one? And they already had one called back that was kicked in. Did he get a kick and a touch? Burskows. And it's another breakdown in the load. Oh, he kicked it off his own stick. It's got to count. That's good. Burskows almost accidentally shoves it sideways into the heel of his stick. Ivan Kovic won't love this rebound, but again, that's not good enough coverage. That is confusion and a breakdown in this man-on-man system. They're going to review this, but it won't take long. It's a kick right off the heel. Yeah, 100%. There's the view you need. This will take 5 seconds. Goal will count. And
he wins it. Back to McKenna. To Perek. Cross. Page. To Perek. Page. Trying to slap pass it back to Runners. McKenna looks back across. They score! Michael Hage, overtime winner, and Canada takes it 2-1. Latvia takes Canada to the distance and then some again. But this time Canada comes out on top 2-1 in overtime. He wins it. Back to McKenna. To Perek. Cross. Page. To Perek. Page. Trying to slap pass it back to Runners. McKenna looks back across. They score! Michael Hage, overtime winner, and Canada takes it 2-1. Latvia takes Canada to the distance and then some again. But this time Canada comes out on top 2-1.